Hello, everybody. Hello, chat. How's it going? We are getting set up over here. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, let's see. There's that. You can see us.
12 hours without electricity, and I'll live, motherfuckers.
That's what you were talking about.
Tornadoes in Argentina during the weekend. We don't have tornadoes.
Yeah,
what the fuck is
that
going
seems
on?
like a problem. I don't think you guys are supposed to have tornadoes.
Tornadoes can't happen physically. Like the physics of
do
this country.
they spin the other way down there?
Yes, they do actually.
Look at this guy. Okay.
You're funny and you're correct. Actually, I think like hurricanes can run, but we don't have hurricanes because we don't have enough. Like hurricanes don't happen here either.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe yeah. I don't know.
Oh hell yeah!
It shouldn't happen, bro. Something's wrong. Tell me who is this?
It's probably because of all your sin.
All my sin.
Yeah. You ever think about that? God punishing you. Yeah. Oh shit. There we go. Now we're kind of evenish, right? Yeah, there we go. All right. Music.
What's that thing in Tears of the Kingdom called?
Ultra Hand.
Ultra Hand.
Oh, Tornado Sin. That's a great.
Kept going to call it God Hand. And I'm like,
no, that's a video
basically
game.
the same thing.
That's a Capcom video game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead, it's pretty good.
You guys hear me? Start cheering now.
Oh, it's like an echo?
You guys hear me?
Yeah, it's doubled up. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
All right, there's that. You guys probably didn't hear. No, you guys heard that, right?
I heard that.
We heard it.
Yeah, we heard that. It's pretty good.
Great.
Maybe a little. No, it's okay. It's okay.
No, it'll be turned up a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, it should be. Okay, I think we're pretty good over here. I'll tweet shit. Actually, I don't even have YouTube chat up, so let me get that going.
Let me check my timestamps. They're all deleted. That's good.
Sean, I'm addicted to writing in the CMS on Giant Bomb. Is that going to be a problem? Seems like it could be a problem.
Oh no.
It seems like it could be bad for.
I can't believe that we taught you how to do this. I regret everything.
I have the power now.
I'm gonna see 20 articles from Dan Reichert tomorrow
about
like, top 10 fart noises in really games.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Actually, I'm interested in that. That guy knows his farts.
I mean, I can tell you what the number one is. It's definitely Lethal Company. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Bro, that game, like a bunch of motherfuckers shows every time with every group I play. When that shit shows up, it's like there goes like 10 minutes of dudes just over that shit. It's like, oh damn, here we go again.
These goddamn kids. Okay, what was I doing? I was tweeting. That's right.
20 years on the company.
You hear that?
A little bit.
I've decided my new idle hand thing is playing with poker chips, but they're a little loud on this table.
Your idle hands, poker chips. Can you go do they have any value? Like, can you go to Las Vegas and exchange it for real money?
Absolutely not.
And
it's like
treat
doing
Las
that thing,
Vegas into blue?
You do that thing where you take the two stacks with one hand and make them one stack. I've gotten pretty good at that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
that's fun.
I was gonna do it.
It's been a while since I went to a casino.
Yeah, we have a casino here, but it does not have tables. It's just slots.
Just slots.
People want oxygen in there. It's depressing.
Yeah.
Still kind of.
It's depressing that people have oxygen, Mike. Wow.
Well, it's depressing that the only thing that the old people seem to enjoy doing is slowly playing this infinite game of losses and gains.
That's depressing. God, what the fuck, man? Can't do that to us on Tuesday night. What is this?
Yeah, wow.
I'm sorry, I'll go back to talking about the Flintstones.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Me surviving tornadoes was the thing, but this was just a new low. Why are you cooking the tweet? What's going on? What are you doing?
Fuck you.
Christian's right. Just tweet.
I did. It's tweeted. It's tweeted. I was tweeting as he was complaining.
Which is waiting in silence. What is this?
I was trying to get an image. What is this, Jeff?
What
all
is
right,
this?
where are YouTube? Okay, there we go. All right, I think I'm ready.
What is this, Jeff?
Mike, are you
All right.
ready? You seem
I'm
busy.
I'm quite ready.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna count us in, and then I don't know. You talk. I think. All right, in 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I am a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs. I've been told I've forgotten to actually say that part. We are the last Nintendogs last couple of weeks.
Oh, no.
Today, Luigi, major Luigi developments, everybody. Giant, earth-shattering Luigi development. Not really, but you know.
It's real.
Zelda Maker will probably never happen. What's Bandai Namco up to? Hey, Jeff, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good over here, man. I just had a normal day on Twitter.
Yeah, I really respect our industry's ability to keep a calm, level head during moments of, you know, just kind of moments that could become divisive.
Especially
or
at this
toxic.
time of year where everyone's winding down. And you could just say everyone respects that people are kind of checking out and
Right.
are
I've got that. Everyone respects that a situation is complex and maybe people have different approaches to it.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
No reason ever to yell at one another.
Seriously, what the hell?
Well,
God.
yeah, what's going on here?
Yeah, like, gosh, the Insomniac leaks happened. Some people are like, we're not going to cover this. Some people are like, we're going to cover it. And then some people just screamed a lot. Like, okay.
Yeah, I'll say the developers that are like, I am going to end everything if anyone covers this. I half get it. You're a developer. If you want to hate us for doing our job, that's fine.
That's fine.
At a certain point, I get it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I get it. Us yelling at each other is always like, why are we doing this, everybody?
I have no idea.
You've been through this rodeo before. And if you do look back, it's easy to be like, okay, we've grown since last time. But it's like we know that we're going to feel different in the future. We always feel different about every situation. We don't have to have a whole new policy or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, do you think that when the Sony leaks happened in like the movie sphere, were there like, do you think the entertainment people were like, well, some of us aren't going to cover this on moral grounds? Is that like a thing?
I don't remember that. I don't think so.
But I mean, again, I get it. If you don't want to, it's fine. You certainly have a position there.
Oh yeah,
I don't
for
really
sure.
mind,
Whatever.
but
Yeah.
I also think if people want to talk about this stuff, I think that's also fine.
Spider-Man 3 is going to cost $385 million, Mike.
Yeah, great. What do you want me to do with that? Like, okay,
I don't know.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And people are freaking out. Like, obviously, there's the stuff about the personal info. That's terrible, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But
And you know what? I haven't seen anyone cover any of that. Why would anyone cover it? No one's, of course, I don't even know who I'm getting mad at right now, but no one's covering that because, of course, they aren't.
Right. But no, there's also clearly a value to actual journalists talking about things like how much money Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart made, and according to this doc, and why that's not necessarily a value that you should take care of or think about, as opposed to just a bunch of blue chat marks and sensational YouTubers saying Rift Apart flopped, right? Like,
right. At a certain point,
it's
it's like
to actually parse information like this.
Right. At a certain point, it becomes abdicating responsibility at some point. And again, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But if somebody needs to be responsibly looking at this stuff, and frankly, I think it should be a lot of people, because when I look at it, I'm looking at it pretty quickly and trying to put together like a news segment on the Bombcast. We're going to talk about some of it. I'm going to try to give perspective on why some things matter and why some things maybe we could just like toss to the side or hold over to the side until we have more information. And other people are going to have other insights that are going to be valuable. So more eyes on it, more responsible people talking about it, the better, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I guess there's a chance people are listening to this and don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Someone who like works a normal job and just likes Mike Minotti and is like listening to this podcast.
I guess that's a possibility. Yeah, sorry.
Sony, Insomniac Studios, the studio that makes Spider-Man, had a massive hack. A group of hackers specifically targeted Insomniac, probably because they had a vulnerability. I don't think they were chosen for any other special reason.
No.
1.6 terabytes of data, millions of documents have now been put up on the dark web. People have found it, and it's begun spreading all over the internet. This hacker group also got some personal information, and they alluded to selling 2% of the data to some anonymous bidder. So, yeah, there's some interesting information in there, and it's definitely worth understanding because it does kind of illuminate what's happening in the industry. I think at the beginning of this year, when Harry Potter happened, we're like, seems like we're going to get a lot more licensed games. Well, guess what? Insomniac, one of the most prolific studios in the world, going to be making Marvel games at least until 2030, and they're going to be making X-Men games into the 2030s. But before we get a new IP from them, if we're going to get a non-Marvel game, it's going to be Ratchet and Clank in 2029.
Right. And again, that's like all according to like some
stuff that could change
in their documents, things that could change, things that could have already changed. Whatever. I mean, hey, look, like it's like I almost feel bad saying it. Like I shouldn't even comment on it, but I'm like, oh hey, new Ratchet and Clank, maybe that's exciting. I guess that's nice.
Yeah,
but I mean, everything else, like you know what? Of course, they're going to make an expand alone for Spider-Man 2 is going to be about Venom,
right? Yes,
really
everyone was saying that after the game. Yes.
Well, I mean, there's that spoilers. There's that sequence where you play as Venom.
Yep.
And it's pretty elaborate, his moveset and his movement, and you do it for like 15 minutes. So yeah, I was like, yeah, they're probably going to just turn that into a video game. That is not going to be shocking. And
that's coming out. The shocking part is, again, according to these documents, that could have changed. There's no date on a lot of this material. If there is more information about like when this stuff was dated, if it's like brought out of a file that has that information, I haven't seen it. But according to this leaked information, we actually get Venom next year, and then Wolverine comes out in 2026. So it's like, yeah, they're hitting fast, and then after that, there's a little bit of a break. But they're making X-Men games, and all of these games are going to get online modes. Next year, we also get online Spider-Man 2, so that's a new mode that's going to launch for that game.
At one point, you thought we might even get Wolverine like next year.
Yeah, so. I heard that like they were aiming for that, or that was like a year ago when I heard that. So, clearly things have moved around a lot.
Yeah, all this weird anger and anxiety about this.
Venom's 2025. Okay, thank you, Terrell Milner. Yes, maybe they had like this timeline. It was kind of hard for me to parse. I had it in small files in my documents. But yes, the Spider-Man 2 online mode launches next year. That's what it is.
It seems like there's a lot of anger and anxiety out there about this. I think a lot of it is just, especially on the developer side, probably maybe a bit on our side too, but people are upset about this. They feel like it is this kind of weird, icky invasion of privacy. They want to lash out at somebody. You can't really lash out at the leakers. Nobody knows who they are.
Right.
So I think it's easier to say, I can't believe, IGN is covering this, or I can't believe Kind of Funny isn't covering it. And then whatever position you're on to get mad at them specifically. It's all a little bit silly. It's a big deal, but it's also not a big deal, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Calm down.
From my perspective, it's like when you do try to assess, like, is this going to do harm? The harm's already been done. And now it feels like more harm could be done if this information's just out there with nobody stewarding the conversation at all. So, we can try to help with that a little bit. It feels like it would be beneficial now to step in and be like, okay, here's what this stuff says. Here's what actually matters. You don't have to go seeking this stuff out yourself. Don't go try to like download it from the dark web. Don't be insane. Let's just like have a conversation about this on the podcast you're already listening to. And that seems like it would be helpful to a lot of people. So, I do get, though, that's like people want to think, hey, if you are talking about this information, you are basically in league with the hackers. I get that response because, like you said, they don't know who the hackers are, so they are looking for someone to blame. But if you just think about it for a second, it's just not true at all. That's not how this works, and it's never been how this works. So, yeah, sorry for the people at Insomniac that are feeling this. Especially, I think a lot of people are complaining. It's like personal information and all this other corporate information, and it's like, listen, I'm worried about my personal documents being out there, and now you're rewarding these hackers. And it's like, if someone had taken this information from the hackers before it was put out publicly, when they were trying to sell it still, so they could like sensationalize it, maybe increase the price of it, like at that point, if you're working directly with the hackers, yeah, clearly that's a violation of ethics. If it's public information, at this point, it's just a responsibility to cover it. So, And again, my opinion, people feel differently. That's fine. And people have different like jobs, right? Well, like I still think of myself as someone who talks and reports on the news. And so that's how I'm going to view it. And other people are like, no, I try to make funny videos so companies will pay me to promote their games. That's okay. That's a job too. Absolutely. If that's how you view it, then yeah, stay away from this stuff. I get it.
Absolutely. So yeah, I don't want to like trivialize. I don't want to like be like, I'm not sympathetic towards it, but you know, comment a little bit. The personal information stuff sucks. Hey, we've had our personal information leaked by the EA before.
I was eating dinner with my
scary.
family, and a person called me, and they said their name, and I recognized their name because they were a gamergator who had previously been attacking me and my friends, and they are the one that warned me that my stuff was hacked, and I think they were doing it to be like, look what I got. So that's how I found out my information was leaked by the ESA. I get it. It's unsettling.
Yep, it's not fun. So that part definitely sucks, but yeah, I don't know. We can move on now. Again, not exactly Nintendo related, but it just seemed like
if people have questions about it, feel free to ask super chats. But yeah, let's get into other stuff.
I'm sure Nintendo's happy when their stuff got leaked. It was just like documents about making Link to the Past and things like that. I don't know, right?
Yeah, I bet Nintendo's still furious about that.
Yeah. It is shocking to me that we know more about like an Insomniac game coming out in 10 years right now than about the next Switch. It feels like, right? Like,
yeah.
Remember we thought that might get announced this month?
God, yeah. I mean, like even like the whole last quarter of the year, it's like I guess that could happen. They could talk about it. They talked about the last one in December before it came out. Yeah, that's insane now.
Anyway, thank you so much, everybody who is watching live. If you are, please hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate it. And we are also appreciative of super chats. I see quite a few have come in. We will answer those shortly. All super chats will get brought up during the show. We have a few Nintendo news items here, Jeff. Things are slowing down a bit for the holidays, obviously. But hey, Luigi, you ever notice how he wasn't in Mario 64? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, Shigeru Miyamoto, they had talked about it before, then they just fucking shot him.
Yeah, he died for a while. It only came back when they made a Mario Kart or a Mario Party, I think. But Miyamoto talked before about how in early versions of Mario 64, there were plans for a 2-player mode with Luigi. People were like always like making up ways to unlock Luigi in that game. Remember that statue with the blurry texture? People thought that it said something about Luigi.
Yeah, Ella's real. Was that what was that on the statues?
Yeah, all that stuff. Now video has surfaced. I believe it's like it's the video's some kind of thing from Nintendo. Super Mario Stadium 2 is the name of the thing on YouTube. It's a Japanese video. Seems to have footage from, I believe, Space World.
Space World. You were about to say Space Jam, weren't you?
I was about to say Space Channel, actually. Yeah. So I think I think this is Space World 95. And
yes, that's right.
They show people playing Mario 64, and you can see what clearly looks like a second player in one of the screens. And the second player seems to be Luigi. Seems to have that green tint.
Yeah, when he lands, it looks very green. Before that, it looks red. So it's like it's VHS quality. It's hard to tell. But what's clear is there's 2 Mario-like characters on the screen. Maybe one of them's Luigi. So this would be the 2-player mode at the very least.
Right. Yeah, man. When I'm looking at it, it looks pretty Luigi-ish to me. So that's pretty neat. Nothing like just like real like consequence of this, but still kind of neat to see. Hey, look, there that is. I know Nintendo's not one to be like, here's footage from one of our game prototypes. It'd be fun if they just came out and said, hey, look, here's what Luigi looked like in Mario 64. They do it sometimes. They had that Breath of the Wild prototype that was made basically in NES Zelda. Remember that? That was neat.
Yes, I think about that every day of my life, Mike. I think about that thing constantly.
I know how much you like that. So
yep.
Hopefully see more of that. But hey, cool.
Yep.
So Bandai Namco is working on 2D and 3D action games for Nintendo. This is by Muhammad Ali Bari at Twisted Voxel. A new development studio at Bandai Namco Entertainment is currently working on 2D and 3D action games for Nintendo.
Okay.
Now I really feel like you, Jeff, because I just said a headline for a story and then copy and pasted like the first sentence from the story that is just repeating the headline.
It happens. It happens. Yeah, you really are doing exactly what I do. Reading the news to people.
Studio 2 and Studio S is a new internal development team at Bandai Namco. Oh, here it is again. Based on a job listing. The listing suggests that the 3D game is likely to be a remaster or remake of an existing Nintendo title. We heard about that for a while. Do you think that's still probably Kid Icarus Uprising?
Yes,
3D
I
one?
think that's still Kid Icarus Uprising. I hope it is too, because that would be a very fun thing to play. That game was pretty good, and I think it'd be even better on a Switch. The 2D game, I have no idea.
Especially action. When you talk about 2D
Yeah.
Nintendo games, they're mostly platformers or like Metroid, I guess, action.
Yeah, it's search
like-
action, right? Is that what Nintendo
Search
called
action.
it?
You know what? Look, I don't see anything wrong with calling things Metroidvania.
Me neither.
Search action is definitely the best alternative I've heard anybody come up with.
Right. Search action is like there's something very before they had genres and they had to like make up stuff. It's like it feels like someone at Nintendo Power would have come up with that, and I like that now. I think when I first heard search action, I'm like, gross. It's a Metroidvania. Grow the fuck up. But now I like search action.
Now you're okay with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll be curious to see what the 2D game is. I mean, man, after playing that Prince of Persia game that just took Prince of Persia and made it a good 2D search action game, like, hey, we could do that with all sorts of Nintendo properties, right? Like, we could do that. A freaking Captain Falcon and F-Zero or Wario, whatever you want. There's infinite possibilities there. Bandai Namco has always been a good partner with Nintendo. I'm glad to see them devoting more resources towards that.
Right, and this is, I mean, they for a very long time they've been a good partner, and now to actually have studios dedicated to this Nintendo partnership, I mean, I think it's a Bandai Namco thing to a certain point. I think it's also part of Nintendo's recently announced strategy of, hey, we want to make more games more frequently, so we are going to have more studios internally, but I think also externally they're going to find more partners. And one way to do that is like just put a ring on Bandai Namco's, development team for you in some way. This feels like that, which is great. I'm very excited about it.
Yep. So we'll see what is going to come of that. These will, at this point, I assume likely will be Switch 2 games. So
yeah, J. Arthur in chat points out that the team that's making the 3D game has Smash devs involved, which would make sense because wouldn't that be the people that worked with Sakurai previously on Kid Icarus Uprising? I mean, I think there's a chance for that.
That would have been Sora Limited, which I'm always a little bit confused about.
I think Sora Limited is literally just Sakurai.
Yeah, I think that might be right,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. All right, then. Last thing here. Eiji Aonuma explains. I don't know why I always lose all confidence when I'm about to say that name. Aonuma explains why the Mario Maker formula might not work for Zelda. This is by Anna Diaz at Polygon. This is a quote from Aonuma now. There are people who want the ability to create from scratch, but that's not everyone. I think everyone delights in the discovery of finding your own way through a game, and that is something we tried to make sure was included in Tears of the Kingdom. There isn't one right way to play. If you are a creative person, you have the ability to go down that path, but that's not what you have to do. You're also able to proceed to the game in many other different ways. So I don't think that would be a good fit for Legend of Zelda to necessarily require people to build things from scratch and force them to be creative. A few things here, Jeff, but do you think this dashes all hopes of ever getting a Mario Maker style Zelda game, Zelda Maker?
I mean, not all hopes on the grand scale of time, but I'm not expecting one in the near future or the midterm future. I think the Maker concept is gonna go dormant, probably for a very long time. I would love.
Maker 2 was like not some big flop, but kind of disappointing, I think, right?
Yeah, it did. I mean, this is a 2D Mario. Technically, you expect it to sell a certain level, and it does like a fraction of that. It was like 5 million copies sold. Really good for most games. Most 2D Marios are going to do much better than that, even on like Wii U. They're going to do around that much. So, maybe not quite that much, but yeah. The point is, they were expecting more from that. I think that's why they wound down support for it relatively quickly. And if Mario Maker 2 is not going to take off, I think their thinking would be, what else is going to be, what else is going to have juice worth the squeeze? Nothing. And I think they're probably right about that. I love Mario Maker. I love Super Mario Maker 2. Those are both of those were my games of the year, I think, when they came out, or at least close to it. Mario Maker 1 definitely was. But they also feel like of their time in some way, and that maybe trying to recapture that magic is not necessarily worth trying to do with other games. For me, I would like to see someone on Steam. Like, there were some Mario Maker clones on Steam that were very good. I would like to see some indie studio come up with like a concept of like, basically this is Zelda Maker, but here are a bunch of tools. Go do what you want. I think that would be fine.
Yeah, somebody's done that with Mega Man. There's just like an indie Mega Man Maker that's supposed to be awesome.
Did Capcom make a Mega Man Maker of their own, like for PSP or something?
Well, so the remake of Mega Man 1, Mega Man Powered Up did have a level.
That's what I'm
creator,
thinking
but
of.
nothing
Okay.
super substantial. And then there was Mega Man Universe, which was going to be kind of a Mega Man Maker, and that was one of the games that got canceled.
That's got canceled. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember I didn't have a PSP, so I remember listening to podcasts and people talk about Mega Man Powered Up and sharing their levels with friends. Sounded like something people who like worked in games media at the time did a lot of, and no one else did. So that's probably what I'm thinking of.
Powered Up was a weird game. It had the really real chibi looking Mega Man.
Yes, that's head. Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, I think he's got a good point about Tears of the Kingdom, where you know you can really express creativity in that game, and you also could just not and be completely fine.
Yes, you could just build a bridge for every single problem, pretty much. Yes.
Right. I kind of like being like a bit of a Tears of the Kingdom himbo, right? Just making these absolutely completely aesthetically unpleasing solutions to a lot of problems. That's always fun.
Like a real David Putty.
Right. I think he maybe misses, and again, I hate to say it like this because who knows exactly what the intent is. Anuma did a lot of interviews while he was in the States for the Game Awards, and like, there's a lot of things people are like taking exception to.
Yeah, we could talk a little bit about the other thing for sure.
Yeah. But you know, the thing with Mario Maker, I didn't really spend a lot of time making Mario levels, but I still liked Mario Maker just playing others.
Very good point.
I didn't necessarily had to be a creative person to enjoy Mario Maker.
I did the same thought definitely occurred to me. But I you know, while I think he's not necessarily fully correct in the way his explanation, and again, his explanation is people don't always want to be creative. They want to just play sometimes. Even if that's the reasoning, I think there's probably other reasons that go deeper. And I think that gets to like what we were just talking about, where it's like, this is probably not, it's not super easy to make this make sense. I mean, we had Link's Awakening with the very basic Dungeon Maker, and it was bad. Like, no one liked it.
I was about to ask you if you even remembered that was a thing.
I remember it was a thing, but it was bad. I tried it like a couple of times and was like, this is dog shit. No, thank you. So getting from there to a fun game, I'm sure Nintendo could do it. It would probably be a lot of work and a lot of creative solutions required from their side. And that is time they could spend making a new 2D Zelda game if they wanted to. And
sure,
that would sell, and it would probably sell better. So yeah, I think that's probably it. But the other thing that he was saying in these interviews is basically it would be just for nostalgia if they were to go back and make games like Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess again. And they're moving forward, and they're not really going to do that. They're going to get the open games are the future, and people are acting like he is just fucking stomping all over the legacy of Zelda,
right?
And that they'll never have a game with like dungeons again. And it's just not what he's saying at all. And he's right. We got 10 of those games, more than that. So yeah, I think we are okay to get a couple more in the open model before the Aonuma team feels like they got to go back to the well on some of those older ideas.
Right. And even then, it's like Arlo made a video about this today where he's like mad at Aonuma. And like, okay, that people are mad at Arlo, and it's like, guys, Arlo's a Muppet. Like, who are we mad at?
I won't say who it was. I was talking to some YouTubers a little bit ago, and they were just making fun of Arlo. Like, that puppet probably smells so bad. I'm like, oh, you guys been mean to Arlo. Beloved absolutely. In the community, I think. Yes.
Incredible. Yeah. All right, Jeff. Why don't we take a break here? We'll come back. We'll answer some super chats. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
This is a break.
All right, I could just go right into it. After I stack these chips one time, oh, it feels so good.
Whoa.
All right, I'm ready.
Ooh, sexy.
Shit, man. I wish we had time to do a poker night on Discord for Giant Bomb before the end of the year.
Dude, we come back.
When we come back, absolutely.
For real money. Let's go.
Sure, why not?
Well, that might be legally problematic. I don't know.
We don't have to tell anybody. It can all be a secret.
Matter.
But when we get very angry, I think people understand. All right, Mike, I'm ready whenever you are.
Ready. All right, we're back, Jeff. We got a bunch of super chats. Thank you so much, everybody. Why don't we read these and see what people want to talk about?
Absolutely, and shout outs to the 400 people watching live. Thank you all for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hit that thumbs up button.
Hit that thumbs up button. We got Nintendogs here to kick things off. Did you guys watch the 2 hours, the 2 hour Did You Know Gaming video on leaks from a few days ago? I haven't had time yet. Any thoughts? Seems relevant now with the Insomniac stuff and went pretty into detail about the Nintendo Giga leak. I A big fan of Did You Know Gaming, especially their recent output from the last couple of years. I will check this out. They are very good and comprehensive at covering the Giga Leaks, so I'll look into that. Yeah, the Giga Leaks had so much cool information in there, but it wasn't exactly the same thing in terms of, like you said, like future looking. It was very, it was like
I don't think there's
links,
any,
link to the past and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any employee data in there, obviously.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I
either.
haven't seen a video. Want to, though.
Yep, I'll check it out. Big Fresh 37. When you goobers gonna stream Firefight in Halo?
Yeah, I haven't played Halo in forever. I want to. It's just, it has been a lot of catching up on new games. And now one of those new games is actually a multiplayer first-person shooter that I like, the Finals. So I kind of like am probably just going to play that for a bit. But I do want to play more Halo.
Yeah, I've never played Firefight in Halo at all, ever in my life. But I really like Halo Infinite a lot. We had a good TNT with that recently. I would like to do that again. Chrono Rig. Hey, dogs, what's your favorite leftover holiday meals?
Oh, gosh. I mean, Christmas isn't as, like, consistent as Thanksgiving, where I know what the leftovers are going to be. It kind of depends. There's usually some kind of red sauce item, some pasta or lasagna. I'll probably have lasagna. I think we're going to have brajol. You ever have brajol?
I've not had brajol.
Brajol is when you get the really thin pieces of beef. You get this kind of breadcrumb cheese thing.
That sounds good.
And you roll it into a roll and cover it in
sauce. You roll the brajol?
You roll the brajol. Maybe that's where it got. I don't know. But it's very, very good. So probably going to have some brajol.
Yeah, we're I did order that Casey Joe's, and it's in my freezer, ready to go. Really looking forward to getting that cooked up. But in terms of, like, you know, holidays overall, I like having the day after stuffing, and if there's turkey or ham, I'll make a sandwich out of either, and I like that. Put some Miracle Whip or mustard on there, depending on the meat. That stuff's great. And I'll probably make some, like, stuffing and mashed potatoes to go along with all the fucking meat I got. Some sausage and some burnt ends ready to go.
My family doesn't really do, like, turkey for Christmas, which kind of a bummer just because I love stuffing. So, and leftover turkey's always good.
Oh yeah,
all these weird turkey haters have gotten too bold.
They've gotten too bold about how, like, no one should have turkey. It's like, okay, I get if you don't want to have turkey, whatever. Right, yeah, but let's at least let it still be the default for Thanksgiving. Give it that at least, please.
No, you do word association. You say Thanksgiving, one word. It's gonna be turkey.
Yeah, so, and let's not try to undo that, please, for my sake. I would also do turkey for Christmas, but I'm not going to try to force it.
I would like to. Yeah. I'd be happy. Hey, like sometimes we have ham instead. Turkey, way better than ham. Ham tastes good, but it's real stringy and kind of unpleasant to, like, chew and eat. I don't know.
I don't like that, like, with you a little bit on that. I think so. Yeah, I'm up and down on ham. And really, I think it depends on, like, what was the last ham I had like. Was it like a high quality ham that was, like, really, like, glazed to hell and all that shit?
That'd be glazed like crazy. Yes. I want, like, a crunch layer.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I wanted to be like I'm biting into a piece of candy.
Yes.
Yes. And that's great. And then when I do that, I'm like, I fucking love ham. And then I go next thing, and it's like some shitty store ham, and I'm like, okay, actually, ham's fucking mid as hell. All right, let's see here. I think I'm on the Uncharted Wolf. Do you all think it's weird that people were happily covering the Capcom hack, but won't cover the Insomniac hack? It's hard to say Insomniac hack. Feels like a strange bias to me. I think that it is a little bit inconsistent, and yet the way that things, like, the Capcom hack just happened, and then all of a sudden the information was out there. Some people were probably paying attention. For me, I was like, suddenly all the people are talking about these things. Oh, it's a hack? I'll go look into it. This one was like, there's a hack, and they are auctioning off the data, and everyone knows about it, and it sucks. It's got personal information in there. So it felt very nefarious throughout this entire time. And now the data's here, and people are like, this feels icky. So I think people had a chance to have the ick built up in a way that didn't happen with the Capcom hack. But if you lay bare all of the evidence for both things, you should try to treat them equally, I suppose. But whatever, we're humans. We are going to feel different about different things. I'm not here to, like, keep score for anybody. That is not a good way to live. So if people feel a certain way about this thing, that's fine. And if you want to call someone a hypocrite, you can, but we're all hypocrites all the time. So I try to reserve myself from doing that personally.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right.
From Adam Wilson, he did the Jeff Grubb pleasure face, I suppose.
yeah, the pleasure face. We'll call it that. Thank
Yes, no problem. Dan the Man, happy holidays. 1, will we create our own characters in the X-Men Online game? 2, is the Spider-Verse game going to be DLC? 3, Ultimate Alliance 4? Question mark. Okay, let's start with that last one. There is a piece of information in the exclusivity agreement for the X-Men games that Insomniac's making, and it references like, okay, hey, we like these characters that we have can still show up in some other games like Avengers or
Marvel versus Capcom,
Guardians of the Galaxy. They don't say Marvel versus Capcom, but they do say Ultimate Alliance. I think that this deal was made long enough ago that it would still have been referencing the last Ultimate Alliance game for the Switch. That's probably
that is a thing. There's a Switch exclusive. You told me to name Switch exclusives. It would take me a while to remember Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
You probably would have remember eventually, but there's also a chance you would never remember. Like even as someone who like reviewed that game, right?
Yeah, that's right. So it's fine. That's fun.
Yeah, the document was like, hey, these things could show up in Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy. So we know this deal was being laid out like at least around the timeline of those games either coming out or before that. And I think they were probably still referencing just the last Ultimate Alliance.
And if you look at it, I imagine this deal came around somewhat shortly after Spider-Man 1 was a giant hit, right?
That sounds right to me. And like as they're getting Wolverine, you would negotiate that stuff at the same time. Let's see. Is the Spider-Verse game going to be DLC? So I mean, does the documents actually lay out anything about Spider-Verse exactly, or is it just like the Spider-Man the Web and Spider-Man 2 Online and all this stuff, and Spider-Man 3 Online, which will be a thing as well?
Online, I forget. I mean, look, I haven't actually looked, too deeply, but I think it almost sounds like they're going to get online modes, all a GTA Online situation.
It's like that Ghost of Tsushima thing, right?
Right.
Oh, you think it's going to be as big as GTA Online? You think that's what they're going for?
I think maybe that's what they're building up to. I think maybe not Spider-Man 2's
You're
will
right.
be.
So
maybe
to that point,
Spider-Man
3's, in the timeline, they have it laid out as like Spider-Man 2's is multiplayer 1.0. And they've been building this stuff for 3 years, they said. And Spider-Man 2 will be multiplayer 1.0. The next game, Wolverine, will be multiplayer 2.0. And then X-Men will be multiplayer 3.0. Or maybe it's Spider-Man 3 at that point. I can't remember. But yeah, so you're right. They are building up to something. Maybe they are trying to build up to something as big as GTA Online. I guess I wouldn't be too surprised.
I mean, that seems to be the motivation, right? If you're open world game, you want to make an online mode. I assume you want GTA Online money.
Yeah, and you want to make money. You're probably right, especially if it's like this. They phrased it as our multiplayer ambitions remain.
Right.
So.
And I mean, I brought up last time, I still think they could just look at that Spider Island thing where all of a sudden a bunch of people get Spider-Man powers and you make your own Spider-Man, and it's just actually based off a real storyline that did happen. So you can interact with Spider-Man, but you get to still make your own Spider-Man. I think that is going to be just fine.
Dan the Man says the one that I saw, The Great Web. Spider-Man The Great Web. That's the one I saw as well. And
that could be working title and all these other things, sure.
And then the first question: will we create our own characters in the X-Men Online game? Kind of hope not. I hope that one is like a no. You're gonna pick one of the X-Men and you're gonna play multiplayer instances like Phantasy Star Online with your friends, and you're gonna go through missions and stuff or whatever. I don't know.
I want them to bring back the X-Men OCs from X-Men Legends.
There you go. Not from Midnight Suns.
No, there was OCs in Midnight Suns.
Yeah, you played as an OC, and then everyone else around you was an actual.
No, not
Marvel
like
character.
A created character OC. I mean, like Dennis Dyak's original character is only for.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It was whatever that was.
Well, they wrote the Midnight Suns character like an OC, but you still created it yourself.
Yeah, what is the X-Men game going to be? Right, like, is it going to be kind of an Avengers thing? I almost feel like it'll. Whatever Wolverine is, I feel like it's actually just going to be a lot like that, where you have multiple characters to choose from and play as.
Yeah,
different scenarios.
I mean, if we try to look at okay, we got Spider-Man. They're going to do Venom. They're going to make Wolverine, and Wolverine looks like a character action game with the PlayStation like walk and talk stuff and like the stopping and sniffing around someone's apartment. And it's like. Okay, how do you do that with X-Men, or is X-Men going to be very different? I would assume the safe thing is keep making stuff similar to Spider-Man, but with more characters for X-Men.
I mean, they have this whole character swap technology now, right?
Yep. Okay, let's see here. Steve Sullivan. Do you guys think they're making the Metroid 2, 3 upgrades, big boy upgrades now due to the reception of 1? I don't know.
I hope so. I hope so, but I don't know.
I don't know either. I haven't heard much about these for a while. I think they are just holding on to them. More than likely, they're holding on to them. The big thing is Retro was involved in a major way with Metroid Prime Remaster. I don't think they would be able to take the resources off of Metroid Prime 4, 2, and 3 as well. But who knows? Maybe they would be able to pass that stuff on. I would expect them to keep holding on to these games in the way that Nintendo has been doing a lot recently. Dicene says, any chance From/Keeley, the relationship between From and Keeley, is damaged from the Clinton stage rush thing? Might be why we didn't see Elden Ring DLC trailer at the Game Awards. I get the feeling From could really be sore about that. I suppose that's possible. I didn't think about that, but that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I never did think about that, right? Like, I never actually thought about their feelings, that whole thing, because I bet that was probably kind of weird and maybe even a little scary, huh?
Right, yeah, and it's like, I have no idea how much, if you are showing up to a Game Awards ceremony in another country and that happens, like, how much do you blame the host? I would imagine, like, you would, there's a possibility, again, that they could hold some little bit of grievance about that. It's also possible they're like, no, we get it, whatever, it's some weird kid. So I don't know. This is a possibility. It's also possible they just will announce that DLC release date when they're good and ready. And that could be any week now.
I think Keely's going to do any like sit down interviews anytime soon. That'd be a good question to ask him. I am kind of curious to hear his like defense or just his response to the criticism of the Game Awards too. But I don't know if he's going to sort of put himself out there for that.
What he does is he'll do the Twitter space or a Twitch stream, and he'll answer questions from the chat. He does like reach out to people who criticize him directly, and like talk to them and stuff. I know that he did that with RGT, the YouTuber, last year after last year's Game Awards. So in terms of like sitting down for like a formal interview, probably not. I don't know. El Grug, why doesn't Mike drink hard alcohol on the podcast anymore? And why did the Red Wings lose to the Ducks? Mezcal Mike wouldn't lose to the Ducks.
No.
We were talking about this.
Oh, gosh. For one thing, I've been so busy that I'm worried the alcohol will just make me tired. But I don't want to drink on stream too much every now and then. Like, hey, drinking is ultimately sometimes not a great thing. And I don't want to be like, I drink and it's, cool to drink. And this is part of my personality is drinking on the podcast, right? Like, obviously, I like beer and I like spirits, but I don't want to be too intense about that stuff.
And the Red Wings lost the Ducks because they're secretly actually still a pretty bad team. That's the secret thing about them. They've won a lot and they scored a lot of goals. But a lot of bounces have gone their way, and now the bounces aren't going their way and they're fucking losing. It's not too surprising. I tried to get my hopes up, but even when it was happening, and like I talked to Backlar about it, he'd be like, no, man, don't worry about it. It's like I'm like, no, man, I'm watching them close. They're actually not that good. But yeah, it's also because it wasn't during the podcast and I wasn't watching them during the podcast. And that's bad luck at this point. You all get it.
Oh my God, shut up.
Like that does it for the super chats. Real quick, that Chrono Rig super chat, that was actually a membership. So shout out for joining the YouTube membership. 20 months from Chrono Rig. Wow. So shout outs to Rig.
Thank you.
And Adam Wilson was 15 months.
15 months. That's 3 more months than a full year.
That's 3 more months than going around the sun a whole time. Shout outs to y'all.
Yeah. Well, why don't we start doing some of these questions from the community here? We'll take a break in a little bit. We can knock some of these out. Mr. Boris is eggnog, yes or no? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'd rather not. I don't hate it, but it's just, I don't like liquids that are kind of thick.
Same. I do not like milky drinks.
Yeah.
Eggy's even kind of worse. Like there's what's that cocktail that people do put a bit of egg white in? And
I don't know.
I forget what it is now. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. I don't like that mouth. People are like, oh, it adds to the mouthfeel. And I'm always like, not in a good way. I don't like the way that feels in my mouth personally. Let's see. Next one here is from Casual, who says, Dear Mike, so Italian he named his dog after a type of pasta, Minotti. No, whiskey sour is the cocktail. Thank you. Yeah, that's disgusting. No, my mom named Penny. and she named Penny, embarrassingly enough, after that character from The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, really?
Oh, bro.
Yeah, there you go. And Jeff Poop City Slamma Clamma Grubb. Which
right.
Nintendo game would benefit the most by having the word fudge replace one of the words in the title? Okay.
Tingle's Fudgy Rupee Land.
No, okay, you're cheating though. The word's fudge, not fudgy.
Well, I mean, it's Rosie, and I'm just putting
I'm
fudge.
keep you accountable. How dare you?
Okay, Fudge is Rosie Rupee Land. There you go, instead of Tingles. I just want to say Tingle's Rosie Rupee Land.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna
clearly.
keep going back to that.
I just like Fudge Land instead of Wario Land or Mario Land. Just Fudge Land.
Fudge Land, that's pretty good.
Metroid Fudge is funny too, though.
Metroid Fudge. That's pretty good.
Luigi's Fudge is pretty good.
The box art, it's just a picture of Fudge sitting on the ground. Just that's Luigi's Fudge.
There you go. Nick Turbo says, hey dogs, a few weeks ago I beat Persona 5 Tactica and immediately thought only 28 hours. That was pretty short. Immediately after I thought what the hell was wrong with me. So I ask you two, what the hell is wrong with me? Hey, that is short these days.
Yeah.
If you had asked me how long I would have thought Persona 5 Tactica was, I would have been like, oh no, 80 hours.
I'd say at least 40. At least 40 hours.
Yeah. Finding out it's only 28 hours only is encouraging. Man, 28 hours is just longer than any JRPG ever used to be. These days.
It's like significantly shorter than Fire Emblem Engage, though. Like I played 25 hours of that at least. I probably played more, honestly, and I was not close to being done.
Yeah, I think that's when it lost me. Was like I was like that far into it, and it did not seem like I was close to being done.
And I was like, at least 10 more hours. I can't.
No, I'm done. Eden Pro plus with 128-bit audio says one has to go: Xenoblade, Splatoon, or Smash. This is funny because I played way more Xenoblade than I ever played Splatoon, and yet still Xenoblade.
Yeah, Xenoblade's pretty easy for me. Eden, if you want to like try that one again next time, where it's not something like it's easy for me to get rid of, like Xenoblade, which I liked the parts of 3 that I played.
I liked 3, although it lost me a little bit in the end, but it was a big improvement over 2. But still, I'm pretty done. Like, I hope that whatever Monolith does isn't just Xenoblade 4. I hope it's something a bit more different.
But yeah, Splatoon and Smash, please, more of those.
Alex says, who do you think would be the best Nintendo character to give Christmas gifts? I bet Luigi's very insecure about his friendship, so he overcompensates with presents. He spends too much money. They're like too thoughtful. So they're probably very nice.
I bet like Daisy actually does like know a lot about everyone around her and does a good job. I think Rusty from Rusty's Real Deal. Oh yeah, Daisy's perfect. Exactly. Rusty would give shit presents because he's poor and a piece of shit. So.
That's true. That's true.
He's on hard times.
Hard times. Rusty knows hard times.
Yeah, Rusty. He put hard times on Rusty's Real Deal Baseball.
Jedi Moss 4 says, would you return to Splatoon 3 if their upcoming side order DLC was a roguelike mode?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'll return to Splatoon 3 here in a little bit just because I like Splatoon 3 a lot. But man, Splatoon 3 with a roguelite mode. At this point, you say roguelite for any game, and I'm going to be perking up a little bit.
All right, Jackie G says, what is the greater tragedy? Jeff being bullied out of liking Starfield or Mike being bullied out of liking Horizon? I did want to talk about this because your language to Starfield has been harsher. And I do hope that I didn't like ruin your buzz on it a little bit. Or it wasn't
a buzz. It was never a buzz. But it was like, I mean, vaguely positive feelings continues to be where I landed. That's where it is, where I am. But I look around and I see everyone being bored. I'm not going to like get in people's making jokes about that and be like, well, I wasn't always bored. What the fuck is that?
A strong defense.
The reality is the central criticism of you land on a planet and you have to walk 5 minutes before you run into anything interesting. That is a fatal flaw for a Bethesda game, in my opinion. I did still find fun with the game, vaguely positive fun. But that flaw is very hard to overcome. So, yeah.
They could put that in the back of the box, vaguely positive fun.
Yes, vaguely positive fun.
I like her. I don't know if I ever turned against Horizon. I never beat the second one. But it's the same thing. Like, usually, like, I'm sorry, like Horizon. Like, look, I feel much more strongly about sticking up for Red Dead Redemption 2 than I do for Horizon against all of the fuckos, right? So I'll let them have that one, whatever.
Shit. All right.
Adam with a question mark says, first time writing it properly will be for the Game of the Year 2010 discussion, but hey, I'll do it here too. Oh, thank you, Adam. Welcome, by the way. Hey, dogs. Between Alan Wake 1, Armored Core 6, Dead Space, No More Heroes 1, and Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, what game should I play next? I think that Armored Core is very good, and it's a lot of fun.
It's Armored Core 6.
It's Armored Core 6.
Yeah. I mean, because for one thing, you play that game for about 90 minutes, and you're going to know if it's for you or not, I think. At least get past the first helicopter, like the very first boss, quote unquote. Get past the helicopter. That'll take you a couple times. And then play a little bit further beyond that, and you'll know if like moving around feels good to you. It's just going to keep getting better.
Yeah, pretty early on, there's that level where you fight the giant walking fortress, and if you don't feel anything at that point, then it
for
makes it
sure.
tough for you.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Alan Wake 1, it's like that could take some time. That space, yeah.
Space would be good.
That space would be good.
Space soon, actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing that. Bomber Cyberpunk is, you probably know if you want to be playing that. Jeff and I are anti No More Heroes. We're not all about that.
He's right. Yes. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk I had fun with. And that's probably a shorter experience. Tell you what, listen to the soundtrack, and if you get so fucking hyped that you got to go play that game, then maybe that's the answer.
Adam also says, I'll also be playing Pokemon Emerald for the first time soon since it'll be getting that as a gift. I'll be getting that as a gift. I recommend no one else start buying GBA games in 2023. It's been painful. Oh, yeah, especially the Pokemon games, man. You think that they wouldn't be that expensive because they sold a zillion of them?
Right.
But no.
What are you talking about? I got a bunch of cheap ones from a guy in the back alley, and he, for some reason, he kept swearing they were real. And it's like a thing I've followed pretty, like, not closely, but like somewhat closely, because it's like a big thing on TikTok. Is like, here's how you can tell the difference between a real Pokemon Emerald and a fake one. I'm like, oh my god,
wow.
There's like, this is a problem. Apparently, it's a huge problem.
I think with Pokemon, people, because there's like one save file on those games back in the day, people would have an intense attachment to that. Nobody was trading in or selling Pokemon games.
Oh, that's a good point. That's interesting.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
I
guess those are your Pokemon, and you got to like, and you can always say to yourself, well, maybe I will transfer them to the next one and play with them. You can always tell yourself that, so it makes them, man, what a genius. Nintendo, pretty good at making games. The Pokemon company, whatever. Yeah.
Domino Crossing says, Sup dogs, just beat Super Mario RPG, my first turn-based JRPG ever, and loved it. My question for this week is, what are your all-time favorite Nintendo E3/June Direct moments? For me, I don't think anything will ever top Metroid Dread. Still can't believe it's real. But the 2004 Twilight Princess reveal, Metroid Prime 4, and Everyone Is Here are high up there too. Jeff, I remember we were covering, it was that first big E3 when the Switch was coming out, and they were showing off Mario Odyssey for the first real time. There was like that, we had like that first teaser of it. This one we were seeing gameplay and actually seeing the mechanics, and it was just looking amazing. And you were writing it up, and I was trying to like scream things at you that were happening in the game.
Yes.
And it was when he did the first capture, he threw his hat at a frog. I'm like, Jeff, he's throwing his hat at the frog. Jeff, the frog's wearing a hat. Jeff, he is the frog. Jeff, he is the frog. Like, yes. I was losing it.
He was very excited, and I got me hyped as I'm like writing it up. Like, yeah,
it's like, Jeff, he's the frog. He's the frog, Jeff. The trailer just escalated from there. God, Mario Odyssey, everything about that game is still so amazing to me.
Yeah, was the Zelda, like the Great Breath of the Wild trailer? Was that a E3 June Direct trailer?
I believe so. Yeah, that's right.
That got me. It's the best. But yeah, all the Mario Odyssey stuff was great. Those E3 booth years for Nintendo with Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey being like the whole decoration for the entire booth. God, I love that stuff. Fun. That was so good. Hey, Domino Crossing made my day, saying that they tried a turn-based RPG and loved it. I'm so sick of these kids. They're like, well, this isn't like real fighting. Like, neither is you playing a fucking controller, you goddamn dweeb.
Yeah, it is funny. It's like, this is too far away from actually fighting.
I pressed a button to punch. You always press a button to punch. What are you talking about? Domino, you made my day. Go play right now. Drop anything else. Go play Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. It's going to be the closest you're going to get to this feeling. Nothing else is as good as Super Mario RPG. I'm sorry.
Well, when Thousand Year Door comes out,
That's right. You're right. That's right.
You'll enjoy that too. And then Paper Mario 1 is just on NSO. Might be worth checking out.
Definitely.
But Mario Luigi's better than Paper Mario 1.
Superstar Saga, and that's on the Switch, right? You can play that on the Switch right now. Yeah. So
yeah,
in NSO.
Yeah. I think I do agree with the everyone is here Smash Bros. Moment being a big highlight for myself. Also, very specifically, the one Smash. For some reason, the Banjo and Kazooie character reveal for Smash was insane. Oh, but when it was like Smash for Wii U and it was the Mega Man reveal, I obviously lost my shit. Like I love Mega Man. I love Smash Brothers. It was incredible. All right. Jamie H1224 says, feel free to use this as a topic if you need something to record ahead of time to release over the Christmas break.
Ooh,
but what's your personal ranking of the Switch's best years from launch to now? That'd be interesting to look at some point. I have a feeling I would probably go launch year number 1 and then this year number 2, just like off the top of my head.
Yeah, and that feels right to me. I mean, I could maybe swap this year for the first year, but probably not. Yeah. And then after that, I'd have to look. You're right.
But that could be interesting. I don't know if we're probably just not going to have a show next
right.
week. What's the day after Christmas?
Yeah, it's the day after Christmas. Probably not. I know we like skipped a week. We skipped like the week before last week.
I know, but it's been holidays.
It's the holidays, and it's a busy year for us guys. So
we've been very busy. We've been good boys. So.
We've been good boys. Exactly.
We'll see. There's gonna be people in town.
There will be a decides next week though, right? We could probably commit because that's the 28th.
That's on Thursday, probably. If something comes up, I'll let you know. But because people are in town.
Yep. Well, yeah.
But
okay.
It should be fine.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
We will, like, once the holidays are over, everybody, January, we will do our game of the year. First, we'll do like Switch game of the year for Nintendogs, but then for game of the year for Game Mess, I will, assuming Jeff is okay with this, I will go to his house and we will do me and him in person game of the year.
Yep, that sounds very good. And that reminds me, actually, Christian, if you could you make a thread for people who want to recommend categories for us to talk about on both Nintendogs and Decides? Thank you.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank
you. All right. Dr. Lynch says, hey, doggy dogs. Happy holidays to you both. Happy holidays to you, Lynch. You have to invite 2 game characters to join you for a holiday dinner, but they can't be from the same game universe. Who are you picking and why? What's your criteria? I won't say what my criteria is, but the first character will be Daisy. And then the second one will be, this is so embarrassing to say, Samus. Or maybe
what's your criteria?
Nothing. Who knows? It's a mystery. Jeff, how about you?
For some reason, I'll mostly make you look bad. I'm gonna go with something very boring. I'm gonna go with Dr. Wright or Mr. Wright from Link's Awakening and Mr. Left from the other one where it was
Minish Cap.
Minish Cap. Yes, exactly.
All right, great, fantastic.
Yep.
All right. Next question here is from Bench JC. Says, hey, dogs, what's the best Christmas game? Oh, Christmas Nights.
No.
I like Christmas Nights.
Actually, fantastic. Christmas Nights is totally fine because it's like condensed, right? It's a shorter experience.
It's like one level, but there's a bunch of unlockables. And
that's fun.
It's got the song. It's fun. Oh, hey, Justin Weatherman, thank you for becoming a member in the league.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to you, Justin Weatherman. Thank you so much.
And everything else is like not as Christmassy as Christmas Nights. Like Miles Morales is great that takes place during Christmas, and I do like that.
Yes, me too.
Like Bayonetta 2 starts on Christmas. That's nice. But Christmas Nights is like, oh, Christmas all the time. That Scrooge game, that Scrooge Metroidvania, kind of came out. It wasn't all that hot, apparently, huh? That's too bad.
Oh, is that true? Oh, right. Oh, I thought, God, for some reason, I'm like Scrooge McDuck. I'm like, what is he talking about?
No, the Christmas Carol.
Right, the Christmas Carol Metroidvania. I mean, during the demo when I played, I'm like, not super feeling it. I like everything they're doing. I hope it comes together, but not too surprised to hear that.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you have any other answers here?
No, not really. I wish I did. I love Christmas themed anything, so I wish we had more Christmas games.
There's what's Outlaw Golf Holiday Tour.
That's the one I was gonna say. Of course, that's what it was on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, so there you go. I'm here for you. Next one here is from Screaming Madden, who says, "Hello, Jeff, Santa Grubbs, and Mike, Santa's little helper Minotti." There you. It's Christmas game edition of buy one, rent one, banish one. We have does well.
Yeah.
With your choices being Home Alone on NES, developed by Bethesda. Oh, The Polar Express on GameCube. Ooh, or 2023's The Grinch Christmas Adventures on Switch. Okay, huh? I am going to banish that Grinch game. Somehow I assume that's the worst because it's I assume
a new Switch.
a new Switch license game I hadn't heard of is actually probably way worse than even a bad NES game.
It's probably King Kong or Popeye. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll rent Home Alone. I like Home Alone NES. I know it's a bad game. And I might be wrong about this. Maybe I should swap these two, but I'm just a sicko about GameCube. So the fact that there is a Polar Express game on GameCube, I'm like, what the hell is that? I kind of want to see what that is.
Right. So that's why I'm going to rent the Polar Express because I do have to see that. But I bet that game is deeply boring. I bet it's so boring.
I got to look into that because that might be Blake Club shit.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. I will buy the Grinch Christmas Adventures. Just I like having Switch games, and then I'll banish Home Alone on the NES, developed by Bethesda and Todd Howard.
I think I watched I think that You Can Beat Video Games guy or somebody did a video on that Home Alone game. So it's like a bullshit game, but if you know what to do, you can just like beat it in 30 minutes or whatever the hell it is.
Okay, well that's something. Yeah.
Oh my god, this Polar Express game, holy shit.
All right, I'm gonna look it up.
I'm sorry. God, it'd be funny. Make like a Dan play this in like not Christmas season
in July.
And get him to dress up in like these jammies or as that Tom Hanks conductor.
Get him to dress up as that stupid kid with the glasses.
Guys. Yeah. Santa Claus.
Holy shit.
Let's go.
I gotta make sure this game's actually like bad. If this game's only even kind of bad, though, I'm gonna kind of want to do it. It's Metacritic is like a 40. Oh my god.
Okay.
Holy. I mean, we could.
The long play is only an hour and a half, though. So
what is that? Oh, okay, here, let me ask you this. And chat, you can help too. Dan's not watching this. Is that worth the hard pivot? Because look, we're really thinking about Super Dan.
It might be. Yes.
Is it weird doing it right after Christmas without like completely missing it?
It's not. I mean, listen. At a certain point, it's all just Giant Bomb being a bunch of idiots. So no, I think that's fine.
It might be better like for his next X game. I don't know.
Let's just see. Let's see how we're feeling as we get out of this. I think we could probably do this. I am worried about him getting off light if it is too short.
Well, then don't forget, if we don't give him Superman, it means it can fall to one of us.
That's a really good point. Right, because okay. Especially because Alex could come in and give us a game at any moment. So, all right.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a particularly long game. I don't really mind the games that are shorter personally. Sometimes people can get a short game. I think that's fine. All right, next one here.
I'd like to have a short game.
Yeah. Deck the halls with Bops of Holly. It says, woof woof to my dogs. There's been a lot of talk of Octopath 2 snubs. But the Star Ocean remake might be my game of the year. No one has said a word about that game. What gives? Thanks as always. Well, I was going to actually talk about Star Ocean today. About how I might be done with it.
Oh, really? My bad news. Never mind.
I don't know. Look, I think I'm in a rough stretch. The pacing has just gotten real bad. Like, I am begging this game to put me in a dungeon. I have played this. I think it's been like 3 or 4 hours now of actually kind of just going to a town with a cutscene playing, with the awful voice acting. And then it's like, there's like these optional side events, but of course I'm going to do them. They unlock important things. So I do those, which is just more talking. I've not been fighting very many things lately. And it's starting to drive me a little bit crazy, actually. So yeah, the pacing is really hurting me right now.
That's rough.
Game. I'm not done yet. I'm going to try to stick with it a little bit more, but I need a dungeon bad right now. Especially because like Mario RPG, like I'm 10 hours into it now, right? Star Ocean. It took me 10 hours to beat Mario RPG, and I know that's not the standard, but maybe it could be a little bit
in a better world. Like a better world is possible. I've seen it. It's called Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, so I think I'm maybe just in a very, very slow part. I think it doesn't help too that I'm playing as the girl, not the boy. There's a part where the boy
and you hate playing as girls, right? Yeah.
No, the boy entered a tournament, and all I did was like cheer him on, like, and watched.
Wait, you watched another character have fun?
Yeah, like just enter my character in the tournament, or let me play as that character for a little bit.
That fucking rules, actually.
Yeah, it's driving me crazy.
People are saying that I'm a bad influence and you're becoming more like me, and that's couldn't be further from the truth. He's just getting better taste, everybody. That's just what's happening.
Hey, look, everybody becomes a bit more like their friends, just becoming more like me in other ways. It's okay.
Exactly.
JD Camp says, best meal/food you had this year besides Mike's Feet. Oh, two immediately came to mind for best meals. One was at Palo, the kind of nicer steakhouse restaurant on the Disney cruise ship that I was on, where I had an incredible Wagyu steak with a really nice wine sauce. That was incredible. And then the other one was the Juicy Lucy.
Yeah.
Excuse me, at Matt's Bar with Dan in Minneapolis. Holy hell, that was so good.
What's that Simon restaurant in Cleveland? Mabel's.
We had an incredible.
We had that for my birthday.
Had a couple good meals at Mabel's.
Yes, and I've been like trying to get my family out there. Like one night it was gonna happen. I suggested it, and then we got done doing whatever we're doing. Like, can we just go home? And I was like, kind of mad. I was like, I was so close to getting to Maples again. And I'm like, okay, whatever, fine. So that was really good. And then Cha place. I'll say it was really good because I just heard about how much the bill was. So I think it's important to say it was so delicious and worth every penny. So yes.
Is that the place we went to?
That's the Korean barbecue place we went.
Oh yeah, it was great. Yes, yes, absolutely.
Hey, it was very good.
It was.
But yes, that bill was pretty exorbitant.
I think we may have over ordered a little.
Yeah, I didn't order anything, so I washed my hands of it.
All right. Next one here from Velocity Prime. Hello, Merry Dogmas to Jeff, Grubb from Christmas Vacation, Grubb.
Hey.
And like this, yeah, and Mike, Dominic, the Christmas Donkey, Minotti. Oh, I love that donkey. With both the Mario RPG and Star Ocean 2 remakes breaking the top 20 in the charts last month, what other semi-obscure title from the 90s do you think would pop with a true visual overhaul? Bonus points if it's a game not previously announced or rumored. I mean, there's lots of good things there. They should really probably do some of the older Tales games, like the original ones, like Tales of Fantasia. I think it'd be fun. I think that may have even already had a remake at some point, so maybe I'm saying BS here. Wild Arms, the original Wild Arms games could definitely use a little boost. I think that'd be fun, for sure. Okay, I guess there's this game called Chrono Trigger, but that's I don't know if that's really obscure. Oh, Legend of Dragoon's a good one. CP, sure. Absolutely. There was such a JRPG boom in the late 90s. You could just kind of roll the dice and come across a million good ones that you should remaster or bring back.
I think those Blizzard 90s games before, when they got into their heavy PC era, like Lost Vikings and Rock and Roll Racing and Blackthorn, I think all of those would do really well if they had one of those kinds of remakes that had completely remade visuals, and then you could hit a button and go back to the original visuals and kind of go back and forth, because they play fine if you had just some new animations on top of everything and HD graphics. I think that would be pretty cool. Mike, you looking for your seatbelt?
No, I lost one of these chips that I'm playing with. Sorry, because of fidgety hands. It's driving me crazy.
No, also, find it. It's totally fine.
You understood that question better than I did, because I was only thinking other JRPGs. You're right. We could just do. Well, they had that collection at least. They re-released Black. They
re-released. Yes, but he said with the visual overhaul. Again, I understood the question better.
Yeah, you're right. You did a better job than me, Jeff.
Hey, you lost the chip. I understand. It happens.
Yeah, let me read this next question. I'll let you answer while I find my chip.
Yeah, okay.
This is only for Jeff. Anyways, 2-time champion Beefhammer. This must be about our league. I think I'm coming in second place on our Fantasy Critic League, which is pretty good considering how much shit I got earlier in the year. Everyone mocking me. Then I got second place. So go to hell. Beefhammer says, Jeff and only Jeff, can you please use your expertise to explain to us what the subtitle at Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2 means? Give a lot of detail, please. Okay, wait. I want to correct myself. I don't want to get yelled at. 358 Days Over 2.
Thank you.
All right. Go ahead.
You did well, my son.
Yeah, this is easy. So in Japan, they don't give a fuck. They just do whatever they want. They just put a bunch of words together and it doesn't mean anything. It's all a bunch of nonsense. They don't have any respect for you. They're like, oh, these stupid fucking Americans, we can put anything on this and they'll buy it. So that's what it means. And I hope you take this away. If nothing else from this podcast, at least take that away.
What is Mike doing? What is Mike doing?
He's looking for a stupid fucking poker chip.
Audio viewers, Mike is on his hands and knees looking for.
Remember that time he got
chip.
kind of upset with me because I glanced at the hockey score? Look at this.
Oh, I can't find it. That's annoying.
You're just going to be so annoyed the rest of the episode, Mike. You can find it. Look for it.
Jeff, I just tried so hard. We're just going to have to move on.
Is it going to be one of those things where you got to like let it go and it will just appear at some point?
Maybe I need to count again. Did I actually lose one?
Oh, I really hope it's all there. Oh, please all be there.
I lost it.
Okay, all right.
All right. I have backups over here, but still.
You in Squadron. That's another one that could come back with a... Hey, actually, do you think we could get to a point where shooters could like have a resurgence? I mean, like shmups, yes, shoot 'em ups.
Yeah, I think they're due a little.
I think we're due. Like we had arcade racing come back in the last couple of years.
So much you can do.
Yeah,
with shmups to add just a little bit of complexity.
If beat 'em ups can have a resurgence, shmups can have a resurgence.
Yeah, and there's a lot of legacy franchises. Your R types, your Gradiuses.
I think they just got to get away from being arcade games. So they got to be more like Einhander.
Yeah, you're right. They kind of did have that problem. They like a lot of them never quite did. Like even like really good ones, like freaking Ikaruga was still basically just an arcade game, right?
Yep.
So, for sure. All right, Chaos Buckaroo says, "Hello, howdy, fellas. Who are your waifu and husbando of the year?"
I know Mike's.
What's the girl with the star on her face from Engage?
Yeah. Isn't Shadowheart?
Oh, Shadowheart is waifu of the year. You're right. I like everything about that girl from Engage, Jeff, except for the star on her face.
Yeah, I also don't actually like that, but no, otherwise, yeah. Husbando.
Yeah, Luis from Resident Evil 4 says Bondo of the year.
Alex Casey. Alex Casey says Bondo
that's
of the year.
good.
Yeah.
And then Hosp says, "Hey, yo, dogs. Despite 780 hours of my Switch this year, I need to work on my Nintendo backlog over Christmas.
Yeah, same.
Starting with WarioWare Shake It. Anything on your holiday mop-up list?" Honestly, not so much on the Nintendo front. My mop-up list is going to be mostly, Dead Space I need to play for Game Club still, and then Final Fantasy 16 and Jedi Survivor on PS5. And now I want to play that Valhalla DLC for God of War. So actually a lot of PlayStation 5 stuff.
Yeah.
I want to be playing.
I was very happy to get Chiaki for Deck working really well on my Steam Deck OLED, because I'm also with a lot of PlayStation 5 stuff. I have a few hours into Star Wars on there. I'll pick up that save. And Valhalla, actually, I'm having a lot of fun with that, Mike. So I think you're going to enjoy that.
I think.
And if you do care about the story as well, I think they do a good job of continuing it here. At least as far as I can tell, I don't really know what's going on.
I care enough about that story, and I understand that it does tickle my fancy in the new God of Wars when they do reference like the Greek stuff.
Yes.
Right? Like, I remember that. Like, it's very lizard brainy of me, I suppose, but I do.
No, that's fun. I like that.
Do we not say lizard brain anymore? Did that become offensive? Should I not say?
No,
that?
I don't think it's offensive. Offensive to what? Lizards or the lizard people that control our society?
It didn't feel good coming out. I had to be careful because somebody wanted me to sing Hellfire from Hunchback of Notre Dame during my Kingdom Hearts stream, and I was really excited. But then I remembered I listened to a other cover of it recently, and they didn't say the word that they call Esmeralda in that movie anymore. They replaced it with something. And I was like, why don't they do that? And I've learned that that's a slur now. It probably always was, but I learned. So I had to make
I can't remember what it was. I think I remember hearing that song and being like, oh yeah.
They say, yeah, if you have respect, they call it all the time. The street performers, and I think the Romanians or something. Yeah, Romanian.
Oh, yes, that is a slur. Yes, that's definitely. Yes, definitely.
They say it a bunch of that song, so I was very proud of myself.
And this is what I learned recently, so I'll just say it to spare everyone. Don't say getting gypped, because that's what that's a reference to, and that's really problematic.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Clink. Oh, Joyzy says, "Is Mike okay?" No.
Asked and answered.
Mike's tired. Mike's pushing himself maybe a little too hard.
The reaction to the post do say no, all in big letters. So
yeah, it said 7 people have upvoted it. So yeah
Mike's gonna. A couple of days here, Mike's gonna be able to start taking it easy.
Yeah, I'm actually I was just thinking we had the Bombcast today, so I was like, oh man, I want to still play some new games. That's why I was like, I should get on Valhalla and play some of that. And now I'm like, it's not a Bombcast until next year. I could for at least a whole week. I could just play nothing or whatever I want, or like play some retro games, and I might take advantage of that. And that's like really freeing.
Somehow I had like 3 meetings this week at work somehow. And there's part of me that's like, guys, I can't believe
You guys messed up.
Wait, at this point, but yeah,
we did have our all hands meeting today as well. That's why we had to have a later bombcast. So same here, I guess.
Did you say we're doing Blight Club early tomorrow?
Yeah, a little bit, an hour earlier. And then that's what we're doing. Lethal Weapon right after that. Oh, Lethal Company. Mike, you just show up when and where I say. You're right. I probably should have mentioned that to you. I don't know why you're not on these invites. Honestly, at a certain point, that's on us. But I'm gonna say mostly Jan. That one feels right. That feels right. Mostly Jan.
It's okay. Clink says, "Hi there, Jeff. Trying to walk next to Mike Grubb, and Mike either walking a little too slow or a little too fast, but naughty. Rogue Light Pikmin 4 DLC when?" And that could just work, huh?
That would fucking rule. That would be great. That would be very cool, because there's a lot of great upgrades in Pikmin 4 that would be fun if you made them like 5 to 10% more powerful or whatever here or there. Yeah, I don't know. There's that could definitely be very cool. I would like that a lot. Dan, when we're walking with Dan, sometimes I'll see that like Dan like starts looking away and he'll list a little bit in my path, so I have to like walk off to the side a little bit, and I'm like, okay, Dan, I'm gonna have to like hold you here and just walk next to you. So
I am a slow walker. I'm always uncomfortable walking in groups because they're always walking faster than I want
and
to.
I'm a fast walker, and I'm also uncomfortable for the same reason, because I know like, oh my god, I'm getting out ahead of everybody again, and then it's like kind of uncomfortable for me to walk slower. So
with our powers combined,
the average walker appears.
Always Be Clothing says, something in 10 pops. What's your memory of the year for 2023? Man, there's a lot that happened this year.
Yeah, it would be nice to have memories.
It's weird because like somehow that the thing with me in the RoboCop costume on the couch with my feet was also this year, because we already had the cake thing too.
Oh, yeah, that's messed up.
That was just this summer. That wasn't even early this year. That was halfway through the year. Was the first GB night, right? It's insane.
Sorry, I just got a important work thing just real quick before I forget.
Oh, very good.
Always Be Clothing. Let me know if it would be okay if we did that video of us unwrapping the presents that you gave us at the live show as a mailbag for Giant Bomb. And if it's not okay, don't like, this is not me pressuring you publicly. Tell me if it's not okay. Seriously, it will be completely fine. But yeah, just like mention that either in chat or just DM me, whatever's easiest.
Probably, like, gosh, specifically that moment when my eyes were closed when the cake was being unboxed for the audience, and just hearing the audience's reaction to it and not being able to see it yet. That was incredible. So that's pretty nice. I don't know. It's been just a year in general, Jeff. I could probably say right now this has been probably a career year for me. It's been insane. So much has been going on. Doing things I never thought would be possible. So just thank you to you, and thank you to everybody for these ridiculous opportunities I somehow have been able to have. It's been nuts.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it's been great. Like every time where it's like, we'll get through something and I'll look over at Mike and look at me and be like, okay, yeah, this is happening. Or like, we're actually doing stuff like this. Like, how did this happen? Mike, I don't fucking know.
I know. It's like there's been like multiple moments. We ended up in the Remedies, like, hotel room.
Yeah, after party, hotel rooms. Yeah.
That's like at the Game Awards after party. It's like, what is going on?
So a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, if like the career stuff would be, having Phil Spencer on the couch, getting to talk to him, something I really did always want to do and kind of dreamt of. And then like just having a night show where halfway through the night, like Dan and Jan will come to be like, okay, we're gonna try to get Sam Lake on the couch. So we're gonna make, like, that wasn't planned. And so we like made a little segment there, and that like fit into the end of the night. And just seeing everyone around me work and make things possible. And then suddenly I'm just sitting on the couch with all the awesome people from Remedy, getting to talk to Kyle Rowley, who's now like such a sweetheart, the director of that game, and being like, oh my God, this is like a cool dude that's just like actually super nice. Things like that are really
watches the like knows us, right?
Yeah.
Like referencing specific things.
Exactly. So that all that really stuff is really great. And then getting presents. That's from Always Be Clothing. Definitely a highlight.
That was very nice. I've been making my way through those shortbread cookies. They're shaped like little Mickeys. It's very exciting. All right, enough about how great we are. Next one is from the Crisis Wolf 5. It says, what up, dogs? Using your incredible foresight abilities, which of the big three console manufacturers will have the best 2024? and who'll have the worst. I mean, if Nintendo releases a Switch 2 next year, which we think is not guaranteed, but probably going to happen, that will secure it for them, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm not sure what Sony's releasing next year.
Spider-Man 2 Online.
And but I mean, Xbox kind of has a we're probably getting Hellblade 2.
Right.
Probably. They don't seem confident enough to say it's coming 2024 yet.
And then everything else could still be the year after that.
Yeah.
Literally everything else could be. Like Avowed, maybe. I don't know.
We're getting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on PlayStation 5, obviously. So that's going to be great. So that's good. I think it could be another slow year for both Sony and Microsoft. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing from the Insomniac leaks. It's like, boy, the gaps between games, even like when they're like being optimistic and like, okay, we're going to plan out our future. Those gaps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the budget's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. At a certain point, I mean, that's where Nintendo's advantage lies, right? Where they're like, hey, we are keeping budgets small. And sure, Zelda does take a very long time, took longer than it's ever taken before between mainline Zelda releases. Okay, that's happening to Nintendo as well. But that Zelda seems like everything else they're able to kind of get out much more quickly than a lot of other big publishers. So if they can keep taking advantage of that, they're going to be in a strong position these next couple of years.
Let's see here now. Antha Sav says, good evening, dogs. With Mike being a proclaimed Disney aficionado, I was curious if he or either of you ever played Disney's Toontown Online. I have recently realized it is my Roman Empire. I played a little bit of it when it came out. The problem was, like, I was maybe a little old for it. Like, it was meant to be a kid's MMO, and I was already playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I don't even know what this is. Yeah,
I think they made like an MMO like early 2000s ish, and it was
was it like Club Penguin?
No, it was actually more of an actual MMO.
Oh, really?
Than Club
Okay.
Penguin was really, but I never actually got that much into it. No. Well, okay. Why don't we got through a good chunk of these? Why don't we take a break, Jeff? We'll get to the rest of these.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Thank you.
And we can.
Are we ready to begin?
Yeah, let's get right back into it.
Awesome.
All right. Tokyo Game Life says, let me do the actual intro. Excuse me. And we're back. All right, we got more questions from the community here. Tokyo Game Life says, what are your hype levels for Nintendo's Q1 games? Another code recollection, Princess Peach Showtime, and Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Not that high, to be honest. I'm excited for Princess Peach Showtime. Mario vs. Donkey Kong, despite how much I love Donkey Kong 94 and this being a sequel.
Careful.
It doesn't. Oh yeah, Sean, I know. I know, but look, it just doesn't do much for me. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. And another code, I don't know. Maybe I'll check that out. I've never been that interested in those games, so that's where we are.
I find myself getting more curious about Mario versus Donkey Kong. I did try it, like when I first started Grubb Snacks on Giant Bomb. I mentioned my love for Donkey Kong 94 and wanting another game like that, and everyone's like, the Game Boy Advance Mario versus Donkey Kong's just like that. And I played it then. And I found the visuals off-putting, as I keep saying. But I'm like, I don't know. This looks like maybe it could be fun. I hope it is. We'll see. And then Princess Peach Showtime, I really hope that me and the kids like that. I hope the girls are into it in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, there's always I guess there's a fear with me that Showtime is going to be like Kirby Star Allies, just be too simple. Yeah. But hopefully there's some depth there. Hopefully it'll be exciting.
That's one of the games me and Steven Totillo talked about because he's got girls as well, and or at least one daughter. And he's like, yeah, I hope that, because that last Princess Peach game, I'm like, yeah, right? That one's like really weird in how her powers work, where she can cry, and that's her superpower.
Yeah. Let's see here now. Giggy64 says, bonjour, les chiens. I think I said that right. Well, I just received the Analog Pocket as a gift. What should I play?
Okay. I think you should play... Hey, what the hell is happening here behind all this text? I think you should play, I really like, what's the Drill Dozer? Play some of the Game Freak games that aren't Pokemon. What's the Drill Dozer? I was going to say, what's the Drill? I was going to say Mr. Driller. That's not right. Drill Dozer. That's very good. Astro Boy. The one that's just based on the anime Astro Boy, definitely play that. There's some good deeper cuts.
These are all GBA. You got anything else?
Well, I mean, yeah, Heinekio Alien is one I've been thinking about a lot. It's the first Game Boy game I got besides Tetris. And then, yeah, I'm playing Donkey Kong 94.
Okay, so yeah, he did have some blacked out text here that says to yell at us if we both said Donkey Kong 94 or if you said Warlocked. So we did okay.
Oh, Warlocked! Play fucking Warlocked. That's a good one.
Well,
yeah, he already owns that, and he's played it already like a true gamer.
Hell yeah, let's fucking go.
Tommy Pencils says, "Hi, I'm currently 33 years old. How old will I be when Nintendo officially puts their games on PC? For this question, please keep in mind that I can't die."
Well, good news then, Tommy. You will live for it, maybe.
I don't think PCs will. I don't think the personal computer, as we know it, will exist anymore by the time Nintendo
that's
is ready.
Actually a really interesting thought. You might be right. Holy shit.
I don't think.
We would just be doing it on phones and stuff, like in like our projected glasses.
I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
neural implants or something right?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Like in 100 years, what you think we're gonna be having desktop computers in 100 years?
No. Well, I mean, honestly, already I'm like, should I be wearing my MetaQuest 3 all the time and just have virtual screens? Like, I'm already thinking about it, Mike. So yeah.
I just think it doesn't matter if you can't die. I think it's still just not gonna happen. Sorry, Tommy Pencil.
Sorry, Tom.
So have fun with your infinity hell. Lenny Cool Dick Denver says, "Hey Mike, December is my mouth. Suck it, Jesus." What?
No.
My month.
My month.
my month.
Oh,
What the fuck?
He read ahead and saw "suck it," and he's like, "Well, clearly this is talking about mouth."
Naughty and Jeff. Oh shit, we have a Gay Mess Hall of Fame Grubb.
Oh shit, we have a Game Mess Hall of Fame. We'll do one of
should
those.
do something with
Yeah,
that.
we'll do that next episode.
What was your favorite moment of either of you pissing someone off this year? Mike breaking Dan for charity a few weeks ago was some of his best work since not reading that Browser's Fury embargo. I don't enjoy pissing people off is the thing, or even making people kind of sad, right?
Right.
Like when Dan wasn't enjoying Mary Kay Ashley, I felt bad, and everyone's like, "Don't feel bad." He does that to other people all the time, and he loved it. And I'm just like, no, I feel bad. I want everyone to be happy and be friends. So.
Yeah, I sure this has happened, and I don't remember these things. I don't hold grudges, and I don't remember people who are holding grudges against me. I'll tell you what, most of the things this year have been like clearing the air. Like that happened a bunch of times this year. I'm not gonna get into details about who. It's like personal stuff, but it was like professional relationships too, but still personal. It's like, hey, no, we talked it out, and it's like turns out, oh, we were just being kind of snotty on Twitter. And this is not that big of a deal. And you realize that in the first 30 seconds of talking to someone. So,
right.
Yeah, mostly.
Twitter is not real life in a lot of ways, it turns out.
Definitely not. And so, and real life solves a lot of those problems very quickly. But I know that I definitely pissed people off this year, and I just can't remember who. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't think I pissed anybody off too badly.
Hey, if anything, it's like a couple developers being like, "You like games, huh?" I'd be like, yeah, it's my job. I'm sorry. I actually, you know what? I'm not sorry, but I do feel bad. If that helps, I feel bad sometimes, but I don't apologize.
It's weird because we come into contact directly with developers a lot more these last few years, Jeff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to say it changes the relationship, but it is a little.
I've just become more mindful of it. That's how I would put it.
Right. Like it used to be, if I said I thought some game was shit, no one would actually really know over there. Really, like maybe a few people. But now it's like, oh no, everybody will know and like maybe even confront me about it. But whatever. What are you gonna do? I think most people get it and do not take it personally. It's fine.
Yes, and I'm always surprised at how good developers are at taking criticism. They're the best at it, honestly.
Hammond of Texas says, "Hey,
Mike pisses me off whenever he plays Baldur's Gate 3 and he asks about the skills, and the skills like explains what the skill does.
I think I think could be a helpful, Christian, if you got in chat and just told him how to play better. That would probably be.
Yeah, trust me, he was trying.
Tell him. Last night, let me say this. Last night he was like, I don't understand this skill, like the disengaged skill that it doesn't trigger like actions on the enemy.
Mike's shoot hot.
And Mike says, I don't understand this. I tell him, read the tooltip. It tells you. And then his brother says the thing that says on the tooltip, and he's like, oh, now I understand. I'm like, motherfucker. That's what happened.
Okay, I have a hard time believing that happened because I read the disengage thing like in the first 10 minutes and I understood it. And Mike's better at games than me, so I think he probably got it.
His brother repeated the thing that says on the tooltip. He's like, "Oh, now I understand."
No. Look, Christian was in a spicy mood all day. He immediately came to my chat and started talking about Osama bin Laden. So I'm not going to argue with him. Absolutely not.
Oh, he was one of his Osama bin Laden moods. Oh, I'm sorry. You had to deal with that, Mike.
I made my character for this Boys Get 3 co-op run. First thing he said in my chat was just Osama bin Laden. I was like, all right, Christian, take it down a notch, and he did not.
You should have put the chat on the screen if you don't want people to do some shit.
God, yeah. So no, I'm not going to defend myself to this person. All right, we got some more of these. We got a lot of these to go through still. Let's move along. That wasn't even like, what was it? Jaime in Texas says, hey, my dog tutors. Do either of you have any favorite holiday treats or dishes you like to make this time of year? I always like to make spinach balls, slow cooker cocktail weenies, artichoke, garlic, Parmesan stuffed shrimp, and chicken cutlet sandwiches. And I always buy a variety bag of Ghirardelli chocolate squares and a few bottles of champagne to wash it all down. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and happy New Year. I mean, there's a very specific Christmas ale made here by Great Lakes Brewing called just Christmas Ale, and I like to just have that on hand during the holidays. Otherwise, nothing crazy. As the brother who is like single, I'm the one showing up at the places, and they feed me, so it's fine. Yes, Jeff.
I'm very suspicious of this question from Hammond of Texas.
Why is that?
Here are the words he just had you say: balls,
spinach balls,
cock, choke, stuffed, shrimp. I'm worried that you're going to be in a situation here where your words are going to be edited against your wishes.
Hey, you too, you dumb motherfucker.
Wait, I just said it too.
Thanks for the ammo, suckers.
Damn it.
I'm actually really impressed with Jeff because I did not pick up on that.
Honestly, I could just be being paranoid.
No, you're 1,000,000% right. You're 1,000,000% right. Incredible.
Oh boy!
I don't understand what chicken cutlet sandwiches has to do with anything.
Maybe it's just to throw us off the scent.
Well, it'll be incredible now if it wasn't. Actually,
right?
We just really love slow cooker cocktail weenies. All right, what's going on all of a sudden? All right, Arto says. You're not even going to answer that question, Jeff. I don't. You like food, or
I like to eat food on Christmas. Yep, there you go.
You're going to talk about how pizzas for babies or something.
Oh my God!
Octo said
real quick. I read Ben Hansen was like, "Hey, isn't this nice?" And he linked me to a Reset Era thread about how like Giant Bomb's doing really good, and everyone likes it. And like most of the people are like, "Yeah," and then some people are like, "It's not for me," and I'm glad people do like it. And then one person's like, ever since Jeff Grubb said that thing about cheese pizza. And I was like, motherfucker, it's fine if you like cheese pizza.
This is your albatross.
Yeah, in fact, I love my job is video games. Do you really think I'm being judgmental? But apparently I am.
Nope, it's too bad. Where's
goddamn children is what you're all being like. Go eat your cheese pizza.
Where's that power, Jeff? Most people who aren't me don't like being compared to children, it turns out. Octo says, recently Dan changed Mike's life by showing him Face Off, one of the greatest camp action movies of all time. But in less than ideal context, if the tables were flipped and Mike was going to show Dan a life-changing movie in a similar context, what would Mike make him watch? And Merry Xmas Tutors. Man, it's hard. Like watching Dan just feel nothing and fall asleep during Godzilla -1. I was like, man, there are probably very particular movies that Dan is interested in.
It would just, you would lose him. Like you try to show him a movie and he would begin losing interest. You'd be like, what the fuck? Why am I even wasting my time?
Right. Like, I don't think I could get Dan through a Ghibli, right? I don't think he's going
probably not
see the beauty in it. I bet he'd like The Rocketeer. I forget if he's seen it. That's like an entertaining movie. I don't know. Like, I think a lot of the movies that I would think of he's seen,
right,
or just Disney movies he probably doesn't care about.
Right.
Maybe Rocketeer. Adam JC says, Mike, how big of a one Saturday morning freak were you? Recess Weekenders, Doug and Pepper Ann don't get nearly enough love these days. Yeah, I did like one Saturday morning. It was definitely on the tail end of my, like, I'm watching a lot of cartoons phase. But Pepper Ann was good. Pepper Ann, something. Pepper Ann, she's like 1 in a million. Weekenders was okay, but I always watched it anyways. Or no, Weekenders I never watched. Recess I watched. I saw the Recess movie in theaters. Do people even remember there was a Recess movie? That happened. That was
Is this Doug? As in Doug?
Yeah, Doug Disney got the rights to Doug after.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's why I don't recognize any of these other shows. All right.
There was a Doug stage show in Disney World for a while.
What?
Weird.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's weird. There's some original.
Did Quailman show up?
I don't think so. There's a lot of original songs. The beats are in
the
it.
Beats,
In
yeah,
fact,
Beats, of course. Yeah.
They pick people from the audience to be the Beats.
Oh, that's
So,
fun.
I never got picked for that. Yeah, interesting stuff. To be clear though, Disney One Saturday Morning was absolutely no Disney Afternoon ever. But it wasn't even any Kids WB. It couldn't give you a Kids WB or even Fox Block. But One Saturday Morning was still good. It also had that Wonder One Dalmatians cartoon. I remember that. Okay, next one here is Teriyaki Blues. It says, what game should I get to play on my plane ride? Metroid Dread or Pikmin 4?
Ooh.
I haven't played either yet.
Metroid,
for a plane ride,
Metroid Dread's probably better for a plane ride.
Pikmin 4 does have a bit of a tutorial-y beginning.
Yeah.
For a plane ride, I think Dread will be better.
Yeah, and Dread, depending on how long the plane ride is, you could get through Dread potentially if it's 6 hours. I don't know. Yeah, so or at least get significantly into it. So Dread's the right answer. Although, if you end up getting Pikmin 4 for whatever reason, that's still going to be a good time.
Michael Riley says, Dear Mike, Biscotti, Gelati, Bugatti, Minotti, and Jeff Rub-a-Dub Grubb, in the Nintendo Character 2023 yearbook, who wins most likely to brighten your day? Daisy.
Yeah, I'll just say Daisy as well, and I'll just point her at Mike, and seeing Mike happy would make my day.
There you go. Mech says, have a favorite ice Pokemon off the top of your head. Stay warm this holiday season. Oh, I'm a Eevee simp, so just Glaceon for sure.
I don't know any other ice Pokemon. I didn't honestly
say Dugong. It's funny to say Dugong.
Dugong. I like to get glazy with Dugong.
What is even happening?
That sounds wrong. Oh no!
If it's wrong, I don't want to be right.
Well, Articuno would have been a good answer, Nick. What's the one that's just a fucking ice cream sundae?
Right.
That fucker.
Just a vanilla, and it did nothing wrong, Michael.
No, that was a turning point. That and the fucking keychain. I was like, okay.
Oh man, I'm a big fan of that keychain.
Super Hardman says, not long after seeing the Jurassic Park survival trailer, I was playing RoboCop Rogue City, walking around a perfectly recreated OCP executive bathroom from a single scene in the film, and it made me laugh at these very specific nostalgia play games. So are there any classic films you'd like to wander the sets of in a game? Man, I am going to be very excited in that Jurassic Park game to just walk around the Welcome Center in that restaurant and all that stuff. I'm really excited for that Jurassic Park game, actually.
Oh yeah, and they're really smart to play up the Jurassic Park nostalgia. Actually, that is the right choice. I want Remedy to make a 12 Monkeys game. Give me that. I'd like to walk around some of those spaces from that game. That'd be cool.
I want a Home Alone game that perfectly recreates the McAllister house.
Well, yeah, man. How good is that house with all the Christmas, Christmas wallpaper and stuff?
It's actually the most Christmassy thing ever.
Yes, I didn't notice it until I was watching something and they pointed it out. Maybe it was that Netflix thing, the movies that made us. And they pointed out, oh yeah, the whole house was designed to have a Christmassy feel. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, and it's so Christmassy. It is what puts those movies over the top. Is how much design they put into the world.
Spoon Heaven is coming to town. Says, hey, Mike and Jeff, rank these from most likely to least likely to get a new game on the Switch 2. Star Fox, F-Zero, and Donkey Kong, and which would you be most excited about? I think Donkey Kong is most likely, even if that specific rumor isn't true. They're gonna be a Donkey Kong game. It's kind of where we didn't get a single new Donkey Kong game on the Switch, considering we had gotten a lot of Donkey Kong games throughout basically Super Nintendo going forward for a long time. So it is strange that there's a bit of a lull here. That won't last forever. I believe F-Zero something's going to happen there. We got F-Zero 99. I think they are going to give us a big boy F-Zero. Star Fox, I think it still could happen and maybe will happen, but maybe the least likely. I think they still
I agree.
Kind of burnt on Star Fox Zero, I mean.
I agree. I wouldn't change any of them.
Thank you. Shoji Koto says, hey there, Mike. Something Dark Side Minotti and Jeff. Something Complete Grubb. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? what are some of your personal favorite holiday movies? Okay, like I've lost a lot of my passion to debate this topic anymore
Same.
because I was screaming about this in high school. But my position is that no, I like it's a movie that takes place during Christmas, but I don't really think of it as a Christmas movie per se. I'm really soft on this. I don't care if you say, "Hey, we're gonna watch a Christmas movie," and you put Die Hard on. I am not gonna yell at you anymore.
Yeah, I think it is weird to me that Die Hard is the one that like really got this when like all the Shane Black movies take place during Christmas, and some of them are very Christmassy in terms of like the whole like Lethal Weapon and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Like they like are referencing Christmas constantly. I don't know. So yeah, I mean it's a Christmas movie. My personal favorite holiday movie is Christmas Vacation. I adore that movie. I think it's really, really well done and very funny. So yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I like both of the. I mean, Home Alone 1 and 2. I almost said both of them. I remember there are more. I should clarify. Those are my favorites. Klaus, if you haven't seen that on or Claus, how do you say it on Netflix, the animated movie a few years ago, very, very good.
I did like that when I watched that. Yeah. Can I put out a call for help? My kid claims to have watched a Christmas movie in school, and she says it is a very weird movie about a reindeer who is afraid to fly. It has really big eyes. It stands upright and wears clothes. No, it's not the, according to her, when I showed it to her, she says, no, it's not the claymation BBC movie.
Is it all of the other reindeer?
All of the other reindeer. I'll ask her. She says it's not live action, but it's not a cartoon, so maybe it's CG. It maybe could be another claymation movie or stop motion animation movie, whatever.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I got it. Maybe not though.
I mean, listen, if you got it, I'll be so grateful. All of the other reindeer.
Oh, it's like all of. Like, is her name?
Oh, right. I don't know if
other reindeer.
I don't know if I showed her this one, but I wondered about this. Does Olive not know how to fly?
That's a dog, though. That's a dog.
Well, I mean, listen, I don't know. Maybe it's a weird looking dog. And the eyes, honestly, if I were to show this, I bet she'd say the eyes aren't big enough. Because she kept saying, oh, they're bigger. I don't know. I don't know if she's like making something up, but well, if anyone has any ideas, feel free, no matter when throughout the holidays, get me on Twitter and recommend something. And I'll
there was that cartoon version of Rudolph. Like there is an actual cartoon version of Rudolph also.
Yeah. She says it's not Rudolph.
It's not Rudolph. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I don't know.
Anyways, I going back to that, I also really like Muppets Christmas Carol. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Next one is from Long Gift says, instead of making Demon Souls 2 for Sony, From Software changed the name to Dark Souls so they could go multi-platform. Why don't they do that with Bloodborne release? Bloodbarn, a cozy Souls game for Switch, or just change the title slightly and do another legally distinct Bloodborne. I think that maybe if Elden Ring wasn't the super giant hit, I would have been like, absolutely, some kind of successor to Bloodborne is next. Now I wouldn't be too shocked if they are just going to go straight into Elden Ring 2 instead of revisiting Bloodborne right away.
Yeah.
But it could still happen.
Yeah. And I don't think they're trying to necessarily I think they probably have a pretty good deal with regards to Bloodborne, or if they were to do a Bloodborne 2, I bet they'd be able to demand a very good deal, and they would be fine with doing that with Sony. I don't think they feel a need to extract that from Sony.
Dominic Malta is writing in from Macomb, Missouri. I think, is MI Missouri? Is that right?
I think if you talk to someone from Missouri, I think they say it like that, Missouri.
Yeah, but I mean, like the state abbreviations, MI.
Oh no, that's fucking Michigan. Piece of shit.
Michigan, then. Look, there's too many M states. I'm just gonna say it.
Yep.
I'm sorry. They say my background is in IT security, and I worked at a Belmont hospital in the IT security department, and at a high school, being the only IT person for 1,800 kids and staff. Yes, it's as bad as it sounds. On the Bombcast today, Jeff, you were talking about how you used to benchmark GPUs and CPUs, and I recently have completed my first 2 content pieces on benchmarking, which took me about 500 total hours for the 2 videos.
Yeah, wow.
One was for Runway 2, one was for Baldur's Gate 3. I was just kidding about how long it took. I'll let you know your opinions on them, Jeff, to see what I can improve
I'll take a look.
on. Yep. All right. Thank you, Dominic. There you go. I have no idea about benchmarking anyway, so hey.
Yeah, it's a real pain to make sure that every variable is accounted for. You got to make sure that the RAM timings you have to set manually so that they don't do anything funky. It's really time consuming, and best at this point I found best left to other people for me personally. And really, it's like because you can always like look at that data and then use the pieces of hardware and talk about like the real world and what it feels like to use them, what it feels like to go from game to game, and still kind of get a pretty good piece of content. But hey, people love watching their bitchmarking stuff on YouTube, so I get it.
Isaac Clark says, "Howdy, dogs. Which would you all rather watch? The original animated Grinch or Charlie Brown Christmas?" I'm a bit of a Peanuts guy, Jeff. But these are both great. But I'll take Charlie Brown Christmas every time.
My wife has an aversion to Charlie Brown because of getting too much of it in Catholic school. So I like Charlie Brown, and I like Charlie Brown Christmas specifically, and I like that music a lot. So I would prefer Charlie Brown Christmas, but I'm fine with the Grinch.
You don't resent its religious overtones?
No, I mean, listen, with Christmas time, you can put Christ all over me. I don't give a shit.
DMC DDD's Merry Christmas says, "Hello, Mike. Hides a few wee Netflix sticks every time he goes to Jeff's house, Minotti." And Jeff, ooh, here's my wee Netflix disc again, bro. What game would you add Wonder Effects to? A Mario Kart with Wonder Effects in the last lap seems to have limitless potential. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's say F-Zero just to make it even weirder.
The Last of Us Part 2.
The Last of Us Part 3 has Wonder. That's the right answer. Holy shit. Okay, good. Good. I wonder if Naughty Dog is like, I wonder how they're feeling. We aren't talking about them anymore all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They had a few rough news cycles there.
Yeah, they were like, oh, yeah, that really sucks for you brothers over there. Sorry about that. And they're like, oh, shoo.
Josh L. Page says, "At this point, I'm just curious whether or not Jeff has heard anything about Little Devil Inside. No, it's not Nintendo related, so y'all should skip this. Hope everyone has a great holiday and some much-deserved rest." No, that's okay. I'll make Jeff answer your question. Jeff, answer their question.
Yes, I have not heard it. The people ask about Little Devil Inside for years now. And at a certain point, I thought it like resurfaced, I thought. But I've never been paying attention to this game. I know it's got like a following. But no, I don't know anything about it.
Bugadillo says, "Hey, big dogs, I'm back at my parents' place for the holidays. This area of Iowa has a surprisingly high amount of retro game stores. I spent way too much money over the last few days on two of my retro game grails, Outrun 2006, oh nice, and God Hand. Do you have any good mom and pop retro game stores near you all in Ohio? And for Mikey, are there any particular retro games that you're always on the lookout for and would pick up sight unseen?" We have like a kind of small chain around here called The Exchange. I don't know how far they reach out to, maybe even further than Ohio, but there's an place called The Exchange near me. Then there's I think there's one called Stone Age Gamer also around here. So they're a pretty nice mom and pop place. I got a lot of my holy grails already, to be honest, although now that I've been collecting more PS1, PS2 stuff, I still need that Outrun 2006 myself, actually, because I got Outrun 2, right? I know there's two of them. I always forget which one I actually need. I'm still looking for a complete Def Jam Fight for New York in box. I probably will just get that on Xbox. I actually been having a strangely hard time actually buying a physical version of Ridge Racer Type 4.
Oh, really?
As much as I love that game. But yeah, so I thought I would have been able to find that relatively easy. I don't even think it's that expensive. Just haven't come across one yet. I was playing a ton of that this week again because I have it on my PlayStation 5 now. So yeah, there's probably some things I'm thinking about. There's like ones that, I wish I could get that Metroid Prime Wind Waker like dual pack, but it's $1,500, so I'm not exactly buying that sight unseen per se.
I have not been looking for these stores. I got used to not having them in Denver because the two that I went to closed down. And so at a certain point, I was just like, well, all I have around me are GameStop, so I'm going to stop. I have to just like not care about this anymore. And I got kind of used to that. So now that maybe there are some around me and I just haven't looked.
You almost certainly have a couple exchanges.
Yeah, it's probably right. Now, when you mention them, I'm like, I probably do have a couple of exchanges. So I might go check them out. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm almost curious about that now. I have to actually take better stock of all my games again because I probably do have to have a better idea of what.
Have you? There's a couple of decent apps about like tracking your collection or whatever. Have you thought about doing that?
No, I definitely do need to. Maybe I keep saying I'll do that during my break. My break's not going to be that long.
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly,
how much I'm going to really have for all this, but we'll see. I try to go to the Exchange website to find their locations, and it's just a giant GIF that says movies, then a picture of movies, and then games, and a picture of games. So it's not particularly then like links to their Facebook page. So
All right, then.
not the most useful thing in the world. That's okay. Next up is from input name here. Hey, Mike, Turkey Slapper Minotti and Jeff Ham Slapper Grubb. Do the kids in your lives use any special compact gaming controllers or just manage with the defaults? No, I don't think none of my nephews or nieces I think have special small controllers or anything like that.
No,
Like you,
yep.
Jeff.
Yeah, my kids just use the regular size controllers. And they don't seem to have really any issue with that. It's been pretty easy for them.
There you go. Vision 49 says, what's a game you thought you remembered too fondly, then replayed and it actually held up just as well, if not better? Replayed Donkey Kong Country 2 this year, and man, does that slap. So I played Kingdom Hearts 2 all day a couple days ago. I played it for 15 straight hours. It actually has been a little bit, and I'm surrounded by so many people who don't just like, oh, it's not for me, but hate that game with a passion. That I was like, okay, maybe they're right a little. Maybe it's just me and Disney and like blah. No, that game fucking rules. Kingdom Hearts 2 is so good. It's one of my
I've
favorite
only
games
ever played like
I
the
love
first
it.
10 minutes of Kingdom Hearts 2. I was like, I'll try this out because like people said it's better, and I got so frustrated being however it begins.
Your rocks is for 3 hours. You will never be able to overcome that, but I don't mind
Right.
it. I kind of vibe with it. I think it's kind of chill and interesting and fun. And then
Yeah,
that game.
my hatred is reserved for Kingdom Hearts 1. I do not know enough about Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay, well, we'll allow that then. But
enough.
is there a game that this applies to for you?
I mean, most of the time I'm going back, especially if I'm going back to like a Super Nintendo or Genesis era. Like I like really like Gunstar Heroes. I played that again earlier this year a little bit, and was just like, God, that game still holds up so well. But yeah, I don't know. For the most, like, I was really happy Super Mario RPG was just as good as I remember, and then obviously I really like the remake. But yeah, I don't know. There's not too many that I'm like, oh, this actually isn't as good as I remember. Most of them do hold up.
There you go, Jeff. There's a exchange in North Olmsted and one in.
Okay, I was gonna move to Olmsted.
Yeah, one near College Heights, kind of.
Yeah, I did a search. There's a place called James Games, like Lucy Games James.
Yeah.
That one's down in Cleveland. But there's a lot of stores, man. I'm gonna check some of these
My father
out.
gave me some cash for my birthday, so I was like, I'm gonna use this for a game.
Hell yeah.
We'll see. I think the exchange near me actually had a Parasite Eve in good shape, and part of me maybe wants to pick that up. I never played it. I want to get Dino Crisis. I want to get like the original Dino Crisis. I think that would be fun. All right. Next up here is from Jat Binks, who says, "Hey Nintendogs, happy almost Christmas. Do you have a favorite game you played this year? Not from 2023. I'm torn between God of War 2018 and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh, mine was definitely the Resident Evil 2 remake because of the Game Club. I played through that this year. Did both campaigns, and yeah, just another masterpiece. I think Capcom has gotten pretty good at the Resident Evil thing lately.
I really liked actually of the Mortal Kombat's. The Mortal Kombat 9 was actually pretty good. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 9 is fun. Absolutely. I didn't get to play a whole lot of older games this year. It was really busy just keeping up
It
with
was
new releases.
really busy. After Zelda came out, it was just no shot for anything else the rest of the year.
Nope. Laser Wolf says, "Hello, Jeff. Next gen Xbox is 2026 confirmed. Grubb and Mike, original hardware enthusiast Minotti. Breath of the Wild was my first Zelda game, and I only played 6 hours of it before dropping off. Should I go back to it before trying Tears of the Kingdom? Merry Christmas." I mean, maybe if that was your first Zelda game, maybe you should try some of the older, like more quote unquote linear ones. Although I don't really like that description for the old Zelda games. They're not that linear. Like I don't know, maybe go and play not Skyward Sword. Would be easy to play on Switch. I guess just Link to the Past. Play Link to the Past.
Yeah, Link to the Past. That's a good one to like see how you're feeling about the whole thing.
Yep. And then next up here is from Drew Menace says, "Yo, dogs, interesting topic was being discussed by IGN podcast on whether game performance should be weighted more when discussing reviews and game awards. For instance, Rebecca Valentine mentioned in that podcast that Tears of the Kingdom ran relatively one day one over glitches and crashes in Baldur's Gate 3, forced her to replay over 10 hours. I'm just interested to hear your take." Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that, honestly, like Alan Wake 2, and it's always hard when I'm playing on PC because you don't know the setup. Like, Alan Wake 2 never looked very good on my computer. I was, like, running on, like, the worst things I possibly could just to try to get, like, a decent, stable frame rate and often struggled. And that kind of did impact that experience for me a bit, to be honest. Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't actually that bad for me, though. But, you know, I think it should be weighed. Like Scarlet and Violet is kind of my go-to, and people are talking about that again because of the DLC. Like that is just a level where it is just unacceptable for me. Like I don't want to say anything nice about your video game, even if it does have redeeming qualities, when your performance and your kind of fidelity is that awful.
Yeah, I think it's a case by case basis. I think, and it's person by person. If someone feels like it affected their experience, they should be able to weigh that in terms of game of the year. I mean, it's all made up, so the rules can kind of have to be malleable to meet that need, depending on what game you're thinking about.
Big Tony asks, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? This time I'm going to say yes, just to be different.
And I'm going to say no this time.
Matt Rare Monkey, formerly Rare, says, oh, Rat Monkey. That's it. Matt Rat Monkey, formerly Rare. I did that. Hey, Jeff, gonna put a headshot in a bathroom. Grubb and Mike, I must sing for the kids. Minotti. Looks like lots of stuff. So just going to say thanks for all the content and great job for the kids Sunday. Mikey, thank you so much.
Yeah, Mike, you did a great job. Thank you so much for helping out Team Giant Bomb with that.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest. I kind of just enjoy it. It sounds psychotic because I'm just sitting there by myself playing Kingdom Hearts 2 for 15 hours. I was like, oh, this is fun.
Yep. I'm glad you had a good time.
It was a great time. Thank you, everybody. We raised just over $4,000, which I was not really expecting to do.
That's awesome.
That was awesome. Although it's like the Giant Bomb team, it's great. We're at 97,000. There's a part of me, it's like, but I think, I feel bad like trying to come up with some last stream because I think, we do get a lot of the same people. I don't want to
milk everyone. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think everybody's been very generous already.
They definitely have.
Goal for next year. Let's see here now. Team Money OG says, hey, Mike, 5 golden rings, Minotti, and Jeff Partridge in a pear tree Grubb. Man, I thought that was a Sonic reference for some reason. 5 golden rings and not Christmas. I'm messed up in the head. Grubb, what is your favorite Christmas tradition in your family? Oh, both of us. What is your favorite Christmas tradition in your family? Thanks for the wonderful year. Are you going to say your train? I know you did the train.
The train's definitely up there. Yeah, the train. Although this year we had some drama because there's one side of the train where you could see the North Pole, and we were on that side of the train. Great, right? Well, they're like, okay, parents, if you're on that side of the train, stand up and make room for kids on the other side so they can come sit there. And Emmy's just like, no, I want to sit with Dada. I want to sit with Dada. And so instead of looking out the window, she like got small and hid and didn't look out the window and kind of pouted until I picked her up. So it's like, okay, that's kind of frustrating. Now, we didn't know that was going to happen. I would have thought it out better in terms of where we were sitting had that happened, but it was still a good time. She got over it really quickly and then looked at the North Pole and said hi, like waved hi to Santa, and then Santa came on the train, and that was great. The Christmas train is a lot of fun, and we're never going to skip it. I always have a good time with that. But my favorite one is hibachi on Christmas Eve.
Right.
Yeah, we go to a Japanese hibachi. We have the whole show happen, and then we eat great food, and we get all kind of dressed up in our Christmas gear, and I really, really enjoy that. It feels like, okay, now this is officially Christmas. We'll go home, we'll watch some movies. I'll finish wrapping probably, and then Christmas is the next day, and so that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I do that turtles caroling thing I talked about. We actually aren't able to this year because one of our turtles has a newborn, so they are coming into town. But I don't know, there's like a million things and they're all just great. But I mean, it is like simple stuff. I do just like watching the kids open their presents and things like that anymore. So yeah, there's a million things that happen during Christmas. Just the meals and watching football or whatever happens.
Stick to your mic, Mike.
Whatever happens to be on. Thank you, Christian. So yeah.
There you go. JD Camp wants to know if you're afraid of hibachi, and like, no. Like we were with Korean barbecue, and we had the burner in it right in the middle of the table. Mike got in there and was flipping the meat, and it was getting fire everywhere, and he was fine.
They want to like throw the cucumber in my face or whatever. I'm just like, no, and like sometimes like, oh, I'm gonna do it anyways, and I like, I learn. Don't like be like scared. I'll just like stare in the face. And like one time they threw it at me and I just didn't react and kind of looked a little pissed. So trying to send a clear message like, don't do that. And they pick up on it. They pick up on it fast.
That's fantastic.
I do like hibachi though. Very. The first time I had hibachi was in Epcot and I thought Disney invented it. Then we got a place in Youngstown and I realized, oh, okay, never mind.
Yep.
And then next up is G-Man Sir says, hey, Mike, it itches, Miss Naughty, and Jeff Good Grubb. Why was it okay for press to talk about the Giga Leak, Capcom, Nvidia, Rockstar, and Suicide Squad leaks, but not Insomniac games? I think Jeff talked about this a bit. there was something about this that I think felt more visceral for a lot of people. And hey, like I do think people know a lot more people in Insomniac. I think it can feel more personal for a lot of people in the industry, and maybe not necessarily even press, but on the content creator side, for sure. If you want to say it's a double standard, whatever, I get it a bit. There is something about this that seems kind of extra weird to people. But yeah, I mean, I do agree that I do agree in spirit that we should probably treat these things equally. And I think, and again, I don't care if you disagree and you do what you want to do. I think that they should be okay to talk about in a responsible, respectful way.
Agreed.
I don't know what respectful means. Responsible is to stick with responsible. Willow Davis says, "How much poop do you?"
What the fuck?
Read the question, Mike.
How much poop do you think you could put in a chocolate bar before people start to notice? Like a percentage. For the sake of argument, let's say in American Hershey's bar.
Somebody has an enemy, I think.
I think if it was a 10th poop, people would notice, right?
Oh, by 10%, people will notice. I bet you could probably get away with like 2.5, 3%.
I don't know. I think 1% maybe. I don't think any more than that.
If it's like spread evenly throughout the Hershey bar.
God. There's like a part of me. It's like, all right, this is the last question we're ever taking.
Hey, Willow Davis, we're going to have a serious conversation, not you and me, me and Mike, about questions going forward.
No, I kind of like it. It's good.
I don't want us to turn into a fucking monkey show like Fire Escape.
Can you eat poop if you fill the bathtub with it?
I can eat my body weight in poop. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Keywork says, "What's up, homies? No question, but a shout out to SWSP for his awesome trip report to Disneyland and the Discord's Disney Channel for us parks perverts to live vicariously through. This is an open invite for new listeners who are parks perverts to join the fun. Have a good night and don't beat yourselves up over all the drama today." Yes, I noticed we have this Disney Channel and I need to go hang out in there even more. It looks like a lot of fun stuff going on in there. Thank you, Keywork. Thank you, SWSP. Freshly streamed game says, "Have you ever been as surprised at any point in your life as Dan was today to find out there was a massive gaming story happening?" It is incredible how like I guess he's always been like that, and he's told me like he just doesn't really care that much about video game news, really.
Right.
It's funny. How do you explain that?
I mean, he explains it like the way that Ben Hansen like consumes all the news and like plays not as many games as him. That's how he is for wrestling. So all of his mind goes into wrestling news, and then he'll watch like, he'll catch up on Raw with GIFs. Although he's watched the last 2 Raws, but he's like normally he's like, I'm just kind of like catch up on that stuff on Reddit. So he's he has his lane and he stays in it. Yeah. It is funny though.
It is funny. And then Zub Mur says, "Quick question: is Avatar worth it just for the juice?" Yeah, there's a lot of blue juice in Avatar.
Yes. I need to make more time for that game. That's one.
Yeah.
That's when I'm actually, for some reason, having issues. You know what? It's the Ubisoft launcher. I'm having issues running that remotely. And it doesn't actually run great on any of the handheld computers. So I'm like, I'll just sit down. I got a new mouse. My other one, the right click was broken. So I'm like, it feels good to sit down and play games on the PC again. So I'm just going to take some time over the holiday and play some more Avatar.
I was having trouble getting it just to play well on my computer in general. It kind of bummed me out. Part of me's like, I should just play it on console, but I just like playing first-person games or games where I'm shooting things.
Both these Alan Wake 2 and these ones you were trying to stream at the same time.
Yeah, those were rough. But then, like, the finals, completely fine. Great. Baldur's Gate,
yeah,
no problem there.
I mean,
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's going to be game by game in terms of trying to stream and play at the same time.
Yeah. Or who knows, maybe there's some kind of update to a driver or Windows something, and it's better now. I'll have to try it again. Who knows?
Probably.
Jeff, if you can believe it, that is it for the questions for now. But we do have some more.
It's
super
hard to
chats,
believe.
So let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll read those super chats. We'll finish the show.
Sounds good.
Break, Rooney. You want to just jump back into it?
And kind of go to the bathroom, but let's just finish it. Let's just do it. Right,
All right,
Jeff?
sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the super chats. Let's do it.
All right. And we're back. All right, Jeff, let's hear it from those super chats.
Yeah, let me make sure I am where we left off at. Let's see here. We didn't do Donnie. Grug, we did okay. From B. Traven, decided to finally play the Metal Gear Solid series. Got through 2 before realizing that 4 is impossible to play unless I buy a PS3. When did you last feel pain?
Hey, like, look, they called that collection Metal Gear Solid, like, Collection Volume 1. They're porting Metal Gear Solid 4.
They're going to finally do it.
It's going to be playable in the next couple of years or whatever.
And also, I think we've had some references to that or whatever. There's been more supporting evidence of that, I thought, but now I'm having trouble placing that. Maybe some of that involved, what's his name? The voice actor, David Hayter. And David it turned out he was actually just doing Fortnite stuff. So maybe right. We're wrong, but they call it Volume 1. I'm betting Volume 2 is going to have Metal Gear Solid 4 finally off of the PS3. So you're safe to start playing through those things. Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no Volume 2. Like, what you think Volume 2 is really just Peace Walker and like Acid? No, they're going to have Metal Gear Solid 4 in it.
Yep. From Donnie Reese, just want to say Merry Christmas to you both. And then he does the heart sign, and that No More Heroes is better than F-Zero.
Taking away my heart.
Yeah,
hey,
broken heart.
Broke my heart.
Yep, there it is. Shout out to you, Donnie. Happy Merry Christmas, even. Justin Weatherman became a new member. We might have shouted that out, but let's do it again. Sean Murray, Hello Games. First time super chat. Yo, dogs, what is your most anticipated upcoming game from an inventive studio that created an entire Earth that you could explore with real mountains? ? It's our latest game developer character in chat.
I had a pre-briefing on well, to be fair, Dean did on Light No Fire, and I tagged along, and Sean Murray was very, very nice. So I am looking forward to that.
Me too.
I think there's a ton of potential there. I'm excited.
It's legit my most anticipated game out of the Game Awards, for sure.
I probably am. Well, my answer is Shinobi because I'm old as hell. Apparently, Penny upset. But yeah.
The other one from the Dead Cells dev also looked pretty good, but that studio I'm kind of keeping at arm's length right now. Let's see, Tyrant.
It's the same way I feel about the Moon Studios.
Moon Studios,
yeah,
yes,
exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
Tyrant. Oh, maybe I am conflating those two. Maybe I want to be. Was there a problem with the Dead Cells ones? No, I'm thinking of the other one anyhow. So yes, that's what I was actually thinking of. Although that game also,
both of them.
The Moon Studios game also looked great. All right, let's see. Tyrant, Happy Beefmas, wondering, did Mike know the band that played Kojima onto stage during the Game Awards? And then it says, Grubb, Asgard's Wrath 2, free with your Quest 3, 94% Metacritic. Yeah, they actually, when they sent me a Quest 3, part of it was like, and here's like, do you want to review Asgard's Wrath 2? I'm like, I don't know what that is, but sure. And now it's getting really, really, really good reviews. Yes. So, and then Mike, do you know the band that played on Kojima during the TGAs?
No.
I actually don't remember this.
Yeah, I barely remember anything from that segment except being bored. So I'm assuming they must have some connection to Disney or something. If I'm being asked this, I don't know.
Give me a second. I accidentally clicked away.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really good at this. There we go. Okay.
Where'd that fucking chip go?
From Dean Bowling, was nice meeting Mike at GB Live. Always next time, Jeff. I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you, Dean. I was being pulled in a bunch of different directions.
You got the better one.
Absolutely. Running out.
9 Inch Nails? Is that the joke about the band playing?
Oh, was it just a song? Because 9 Inch Nails definitely was not on stage.
No, I don't think so. I don't remember there being a band on stage. So maybe it was just a 9 Inch Nails song was playing.
Okay.
It was 9 Inch Nails. Yes, I get it now.
That makes sense. All right.
Well, no, I did not know. Don't tell Lucy.
Dean Bowling says, was nice meeting Mike at GB Live. Always next time, Jeff. Running out of time on Gubble 2023, but that just means Gubble 24 is right around the corner. What is this in reference to? I don't remember Gubble.
What is Gubble?
I don't remember Gubble, Dean. Sorry. If
Gubble.
If this is a joke about something, what's that, Christian?
I'm scared. I'm scared of finding out what the fuck Gubble is.
If it's a reference to something we joked around on the podcast before, I don't remember what I said earlier this episode.
I'm just gonna Google this.
Hashtag. Okay, well, I mean,
Gubble 2020. Nothing came up.
I think this is an inside joke for us that I don't remember being on the inside of.
Yeah, I have no idea. Oh no.
But thank you, Dean.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Connell Wood says, I consulted the biggest shmup degenerates I know, and she suggests the best shmup roguelike right now is Never Awake on Steam. Dizotopia also. I was afraid to say that because it had D's in the beginning of it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of like a shmup phase there for a bit. Shmups are fun, but they require dedication, you know. And I sometimes I kind of want to play them at night, and I'm trying to unwind, so shmups can be a bit intense for that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I'm like, on the Steam Deck OLED, shmups would be very good, especially if
Yes.
they kind of had retro style look to it. So I'm kind of just like in the mood for one. I'll check out this Never Awake. That sounds pretty cool.
Never Awake.
Cerebus Kane says, Mike, Dan gave Fantasia 1.5 stars on Letterboxd. We talked about that, right?
Yeah, but like, you know, hey, I love Dan. I sometimes worry when I like joke around about how the things he does are upsetting. People take it too seriously. Dan is fantastic. He's done so much for me last couple of years. But I find that opinion deeply upsetting. I'm not happy about that. But hey, also watching Godzilla with Dan, I am not surprised that he found Fantasia boring.
Right. Exactly. It puts a lot of things in context. Let's see here. Special Nick. Shout out to Nick. Don't forget, Grubb's missed this weekend, everybody. That Mike didn't want to be a part of, but all cool. I'm not offended or anything. Really, I'm not. Nick, that's just for us. How dare you invite Mike? How dare you? I'm actually offended. Wow.
I'm sorry. It's been. I've been, gosh, I've had so many. I've said yes to a lot of things this weekend.
You're not invited. He didn't mean that. If he did invite you, he didn't mean it. It's just for me and you, Nick.
Well, don't worry. I can't go anyways. I was on Windbag today. That was fun.
Yeah, that was cool. I didn't know that was going to happen. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's because I didn't tell you.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm glad. That's very cool. I'm glad you got to get on there. Sparks said, Grubb, check out The Flight Before Christmas for the one movie. Yeah, she says that's not it either. I found that one too. If it's either something that she's wrong about, like the way she's describing it could be wrong. That's a possibility. Or it's a deeper cut than any of us realize, everybody. So, yeah. Nick says, I had a ton of fun watching all 15 hours of Final Mixmas 2, but Kingdom Hearts 2 looks like inscrutable garbage.
How dare you? You know what's nuts is the VOD of that on Twitch has so many muted segments for copyright claims. It's not even me singing Disney songs. It's not even like
I tell you what, that wasn't my assumption, Mike.
It's not even the Disney songs in the game. It's just like normal Kingdom Hearts music.
Oh, weird.
Like a lot of that got copyright strikes.
Japanese companies need to lay off on that stuff.
It's weird. Yeah, what do they think's gonna happen? I don't know.
I mean, Nintendo's especially weird, but yes. Tokens Only just dropped a couple of dollars as a super chat, but no message. Thank you so much, Tokens Only. And thank you everybody for the super chats. We really appreciate it. But Mike, that's all I got. So back to you.
Well, Jeff, I already talked about Star Ocean, which is basically the thing I've been playing.
I played Suika Game, and I got immediately addicted to it. It's,
oh God.
The idea of like you know what it reminds me of actually is after the video game Balan Wonderworld, Yuji Naka didn't work at Square Enix anymore, and he's like, I'm gonna make a game on my own, and he made sort of this like Unity engine practice game called Roll like 220. What is it? 2056. What's the Threes clone? Whatever it was. Basically, it's like it was Threes, but you roll the like a bunch of blocks out into a play field out in front of you, and it's like that, but pretty good actually. Like his game was fine. Suika Game, the physics are really satisfying.
2048.
2048. Thank you. The thing with Suika Game is you'll have like it plays just like Threes in terms of you are trying to get two of the same kind of fruits to touch one another. If they do, they turn into the next fruit on the evolution chain, and then you got to get two of those to touch each other, and so on until you get a watermelon, and then that gets you a higher score. So sometimes you'll have an apple here, and then you'll have like a grapefruit, kind of keeping them separated but up above, and then if you like put more things on each side, they're kind of squeezing together and getting closer, and sometimes you could just like wait and watch it happen, and it's super satisfying. And I know it's like satisfying because I'm sure I'm playing it, I'm enjoying it, I'm finding it to be so, but immediately my kids, both of them were looking over my shoulder being like, what's this? This game is cute. What's going on here? And it's like, there's just something very visceral and primordial that they were reacting to. I really enjoyed it.
It makes sense because they say, like the developers say, it's a game for kids, for children. They made
they really made it. You could tell they made it that way because there's no like a written language explaining how to play the game. It's all visually there. I handed it to them, and I'm like, oh, I don't have to even explain anything now that they watched me play for 5 minutes. They completely get it. So it's like, it's actually a really coolly designed game if you think about it from that perspective, because it's like, that's something I've been thinking about a lot recently, having younger kids that are learning to read but aren't there yet. It's very hard to leave them with games because they're going to reach something where it's like, oh, I just can't read this one thing, and now I don't know what to do. And it's like, man, more games should just be designed completely languageless. That would be so better in so many cases. And here is an example of that, and it works really well. So it's like $3 on the eShop. It's only on Switch, and it's in the American eShop now. For a while, it wasn't. But you can't even get it on Steam. There's a bunch of like clones on Steam, but they're not the same. So yeah, I'm really into this. I'm probably gonna play it a little bit more, probably not a ton more, but I think it's really well made, really good game.
Maybe I'll check it out. What the hell?
You probably have enough gold coins in your account to get it for free on the Switch. I don't know.
I think I used those.
Okay, I had $40 worth, so I was just buying a bunch of shit, and that's one of the things I got.
Oh, I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh, there it is.
Oh shit! As soon as I send it, no, wait.
Oh no.
Read the last super chat.
All right, last super chat from Antonioni. I'm gonna say that again because you sneezed during it. Antonioni, how does the Switch dock even work? Ever since I got the Steam Deck dock, I realized how magical the Switch dock is. Jeff, please explain it like your 3D 3DS vid. 3DS vid.
3DS video.
I suppose it's just a dock, right? You just put it in there and it just passes through the video.
The Switch dock works because it is basically just a plastic shell, right? I mean,
yeah.
The Switch only needs a USB cable to connect to.
Right. It's mostly still.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff, I got you, homie.
Sure, do it, yeah.
Because I actually know this one.
Okay.
So the Switch dock is just like the Steam Deck dock. It just works over USB. If they mean like the physical aspect of it, the way it works is the plug is a slightly loose USB-C plug. And that just uses a series of notches to like make the Switch line up there.
I did realize that recently, where I was like looking at something like, oh, my Switch dock is broken. It's like, no, actually, at least from the OLED, once you put the Switch in, it hits two little notches, and the USB plug sticks out at that point, so you can't break it because it'll only shoot out if you have the Switch lined up correctly. So I'm like, oh, that's actually really clever. But I think they're talking about. Why is it so easy to get the video on the TV? Because the Switch, like a Steam Deck dock, requires a little bit more finagling. And that's just like the Switch is waiting to have both power and USB-C asking for video. And when that happens, it just sends it out at the same time. It just knows to do that in a way that PCs don't, right?
I mean, Steam Deck dock does work pretty seamlessly. I just bought a new one for myself when I got the OLED.
Yes.
And it's gotten to the point where it basically works the same way now.
Yes, they are.
It's more about
pretty good.
It's more about the console than the dock itself, because the dock is just a cable.
Right. And right. The Nick says it handshakes every time, unlike a lot of docks. Yeah. Steam's going to be improving that over time, so that's probably why that got to that point. But yeah, the Switch is like, it just knows to do that. It's built in from the very beginning with that in mind, so they just made sure that was going to work every time.
Enthralling stuff.
All right, fuck it, Mike. Get us out of here then.
Yeah, all right. Push that button. We're done. Everybody, we will not see you next week. We'll know who else the next week, day after Christmas. But you all have a nice holiday if you are celebrating any. You have a good New Year. Actually, I guess next Nintendogs is going to be in 2024. So there you go. How about that? That's exciting, huh?
Yeah, that's weird. But here we are. I mean, it is like prime time Christmas. It's December 19th. No more people can no longer pretend like, oh my god, it's too early for Christmas music, all that shit. We're fully in it. So I suppose we're here, and that means the New Year's and quickly after that, and then 2024. A year that still feels very fake. But
what if we get them a Columbus episode for Christmas? What if we get that?
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, that's true. That's happening.
Let's go.
Yep, we're actually going to record that after this, I believe. Right, Jeff? Are you good?
Yeah!
All right, maybe you'll record that Thursday. See you all later.
Let's go.
Hi, doggy.